Blues go to make the line change. Glance pass ahead to Broberg. With Neighbors going to the goal. Neighbors, he scores! Jake Neighbors, the overtime game winner. Bring out the Zamboni. Hofer's going to get an assist. And the Blues beat the Islanders 1-0 in a shutout performance by Joel Hofer and a game winner by Jake Neighbors. What a pass from Hofer. What a pass from Broberg. And a great tip by Neighbors.
Let's get nasty on a Friday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. Your time check, 2:02 here on 101 ESPN. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Chris Kerber on the call last night, right here on the Blues Radio Network. Jamie, you were between the benches. Outstanding defensive performance last night from the Blues. Outstanding effort for Joel Hofer, who was in net, and the Blues were able to get it done in overtime, 1-0 over the Islanders. Despite the scoring, I think that was their most complete effort to date.
Oh, yeah, from start to finish. I mean, the first period was competitive. First period, you could see right away. We talked about the structure and the way the Islanders play tight defensive hockey. You saw it right away in the first period, and the Blues knew from that point on that they're going to have to work for every inch that they get out there. And the game went back and forth. I mean, it was 0-0 all the way till overtime, but it didn't feel that way. It didn't feel like a boring hockey game. They had lots of chances on both sides. Joel Hofer was spectacular, had a couple of really great saves. Sorokin at the other end, he made a couple of great saves too, kept it off. Like the one was on the goal line, pulled it back before it crosses the line. So a lot of fun things last night, but it was a big win for the Blues. Atmosphere was much better in the building. I mean, I felt it was. Maybe I'm wrong from the first game, but I talked to several people, and they seemed to corroborate that, it wasn't a great night.
I agree, yeah. I talked to some people after that night as well. Yeah. Same deal.
Yeah.
So like,
it was fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Fast lane fine. But no, it's a huge win for the Blues. Happy for Joel Hofer. And really happy for Jake Neighbors. He gets his goal, first one of the season. Gets me 2 points, baby.
Congrats. Jamie now up 2-1.
Yes.
2-1, 2-1-0-0.
Yes.
Nice work.
But no, it was a good game. It was fun to call. It was fun to be there.
I thought the Blues also did a great job in front of Hofer. There was a couple of times where they kind of muddled the middle of that icer. They got inside the house. They protected him well. There wasn't a lot of open ice in front of Hofer. Now there was a couple of times where maybe guys, are out of position just a little bit trying to get the puck back or whatever. But I thought overall, the defense was excellent.
The defensive core overall this season has been very good. I mean, it's much improved. There is not a lot of room out there for opposing players. Of course, you still give up certain chances in a game, but Suter looked great with Parayko. Broberg and Falk are maybe one of the best pairs in all of the NHL right now. They haven't been scored on 5-on-5 yet. Falk has been scored on killing a penalty, and Philip Broberg has yet to be scored on at all whenever he's on the ice. They're doing a hell of a job.
Pickup.
We're going to get into that later, but yes, what a pickup. I don't know if anybody saw Broberg having an impact like this soon. I think everybody looked at the age. The potential was there, coming off a nice run in the playoffs. Let's build off of that. This kid is ready for prime time, man. He's the real deal.
I'm really impressed with him. I mean, that pass to Neighbors, just flipping it up, and Neighbors' hand-eye coordination, able to tip it in. He looks like a really good player. He looks like a really skilled player and can play in all phases of the game. He doesn't seem to struggle. And you talked about getting bigger at the blue line. He's big enough. He seems to be fast enough and skilled enough to do all of the things that you want from a defenseman, like a top-tier defenseman. And maybe my eyes, maybe my young hockey eyes don't know it well enough, but damn it, he looks really good.
He's so impressive at just eliminating plays. And, watching him up close last night so many times that he just takes one stride, angles a guy, and the play's over. And it's okay, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. In the defensive zone, we got used to watching that fire drill last year where teams just skate around all over the place and the Blues would stay all compact and just block shots and hope for the best, right? You don't have to do that this year. you've got speed from your forwards where they can get to competitive pucks, where they can get to loose pucks, where they can, cause disruption, and your defensemen are fast. Broberg covers so much ice out there that he's one stride away from being right next to the boards. So you don't have to give teams time and space anymore. In fact, you're eliminating time and space from a defensive scheme overall, and that's really helping. That pays dividends because you don't spend all night in your own end just playing, rope-a-dope.
Right.
I really liked Ryan Suter with Colton Parayko, too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were very quiet on the ice, and that's a good thing. Like, you didn't really notice them that much, and that's, like I said, that's a good thing if you're a defenseman because you don't want to be one of those guys who's, getting walked or you look like a pylon out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like that. Honestly, all of the pairings last night, even P.O. Joseph.
That was his best game.
That guy just fires pucks on net.
Yeah.
Fires pucks on net.
I like the fact that he shoots the puck a lot. Him and Kessel looked very comfortable together. Marshy, to your point, Ryan Suter played 25 minutes and 10 seconds last night. He's a 40-year-old guy. He's a 40-year-old.
How's he feel today?
He probably feels fine. He's in great shape. Carey, here's a guy that plays for the last decade of his career, maybe even longer, has played 20-plus minutes a game and is averaging like 80 to 82 games a year.
Wow.
So there's no,
slowing down.
No.
Yeah.
He's all in. Colton Parayko had 26 and a half minutes on the ice, 30 shifts. It was an impressive night overall. Philip Broberg, again, 22 minutes of ice time. He got the assist there on that game-winning goal. And just a much improved defensive team right now. It's early in the season, but I'm telling you, man, this team is going to continue to grow and continue to develop together throughout this season.
Can we talk about that game-winning goal? Because you literally yesterday were talking about goalies that don't handle the puck very well, that just dump it off in the corner, and now you're getting pinned and hit and roughed up. And Booch said, at Lagasse, we spent a lot of time. Let me pass it back to Hofer. Hofer made a hell of a pass off the boards to Broberg. Like that, I see what you're like when you got a goalie that you trust to handle the puck and can make a pass like that and just gets it going.
What tells the whole story, Carey, is the Blues were tired.
They were gassed.
And Booch just said, well, I'm going to throw it back to Hofer, which is a fantastic play. When you have a goalie that handles the puck like that.
Right.
What happens at that moment is somebody kind of has to challenge the puck. So that means you have somebody open. Now, the goalie has to get it to the open guys. But the tell for me is how the Blues changed, and nobody went back to help Hofer with the puck.
You got it.
So, he's fine.
Yeah.
And Broberg opened up, and then Hofer makes doesn't just shoot it up the ice, he makes a bank pass. Like a perfect bank pass, so Broberg can just get it, go, and then sauce it over to Neighbors, who deflects it into the net. It's a massive advantage having goalies that can play the puck. Especially in this overtime era, the way it is. Like if I was a team, I would utilize that. Like Joel Hofer, I'd have him playing at the hash marks.
Yeah.
And pass it back to him all the time, regroup, and have him even take it up to the blue line.
Because then it becomes like a 3-on-2 because you said somebody has to
challenge the puck.
Yeah.
And it's risky because, if he gives it away, but the odds are that he's not going to give it away.
Yeah.
And you utilize that, and it happened last night. It was a perfect example of what a good goaltender who handles a puck can do.
Any concerns about the offense last night? The Islanders are stout defensively, too, like you mentioned with Sorokin. Sorokin had himself a nice night, but was there anything that kind of caught your eye from an offensive standpoint, or you just say, hey, look, hat tip, New York played well?
New York played well, but I think that some of these lines are developing a little bit of chemistry, finally. We'll see if they stay together. I'm not sure. But Shen, Holloway, and Matthew Joseph looked really good. Love that line. Captain looked really good last night. I know that there's not a lot of people, or maybe some people aren't big fans, and maybe just ignore the fact that Walker came out for Kapanen. Let's just evaluate the product on the ice. Kapanen fit in pretty well with that line last night. They had a couple of extended zone time shifts where they had the puck in the other end for a long time. P.O. Joseph and Kessel were on the ice for those ones too. So I like that look as well. Thomas, Kyrou, and Saad kind of took them a while. First period, they were pretty irrelevant. One attempted shot. the whole period. It's kind of like, I don't know if this is going to work.
Yeah, there were some points in that game where Jordan Kyrou, and you always talk about him needing to drive to the outside. He would then try and cut to the middle, and there was a few times where him and Saad kind of their paths crossed, and they ended up losing the puck on a few just because I don't know if they're used to playing with each other, and you had an opportunity in the offensive zone, but it kind of was squandered because of your zone entry was a little mixed up.
Yeah, so I thought Jordan Kyrou had a real good game last night overall. He was back defensively, made some plays, good puck protection in the offensive zone. And I'm sure that the coaching staff are working with him. There's just too many times where he takes the puck into traffic. When you have speed like Jordan Kyrou, you don't take it into traffic. It'd be like Tyreek Hill. Your option is to run down the sideline and outrun the guy, or run through the middle and try to avoid all the linebackers too. Which way makes more sense?
Go down the sideline.
Take the one-on-one and go wide, right? So Kyrou, a couple of times last night, he had options to keep going. He wants to bring it back through the traffic. He'll learn. It'll eventually click for him. But I also think he can shoot the puck more. He had a couple of chances in that game where he's looking to pass to Thomas one more time.
You even said it on the broadcast. You're like, I thought that he was going to shoot that.
I say he probably should have shot that.
Yeah.
My job is to tell the story of the game that's going on. I mean, can't help it if his mom and dad are at home and they don't like what I'm saying. Like, it is what it is.
I think mom and dad know.
Yeah.
You just got to yell, rip it!
Yeah, that's right. Shoot.
By the way, we got a text from the 314. Staltz supports your point from the other day or yesterday. A 1-0 game can be just as entertaining as a 9-8, 6-5 game. To me, I appreciate a high level of play that results in a pitcher's duel.
Amen.
That's
absolutely
hockey.
Nailed it.
And not baseball.
Both can be true, though. Yes. You tell me you haven't seen a 1-0 game in baseball that wasn't
There's
exciting?
a no-hitter associated with it or close to it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Texture. I think you bring up outstanding points.
Game 5 of the 2011 NLDS, a 1-0 Cardinals victory.
Are you maybe referring to the Chris Carpenter Roy Halladay game?
I might be.
Yeah, okay.
How about
pretty exciting.
playoff
One
baseball?
run.
Yeah, that's
first inning.
That's only one example.
Playoff baseball. Wow. It's a little different. Yeah.
Texture, I think you bring up a great point. Hey, shout out to Addison, who is Jen's niece. So Jen's a loyal listener to 101 ESPN and the Fast Lane. Jen is always so gracious to send us a big box full of candy because she knows that, we eat it all within about a week.
Man, not even. Segment.
Jen and I were paired up for one of the months of Bet the Board, and we won. So shout out to Jen, but most importantly, Jen's niece, Addison. Straight A's.
Woo! Good job,
Straight
Addison.
A's.
Woo. Very nice.
And you guys get straight A's in school?
I
did.
Did you?
I did. I swear to God.
Did you or did Carey?
No,
Right.
no.
Straight A's.
Great question.
High school is different. High school is just like K through 8, elementary school. Straight A's, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm smart. I'm really smart.
You know what? I
Never came close.
that actually happened to
high
me as
school.
well. In middle school, I went to my mom's and was looking through some stuff and found a report card. I had straight A's. I go, that's not mine.
Yeah. Which brother of mine is this?
Yeah. He goes, no,
awesome.
you used to be smart.
Wow, Mom.
Oh, my mom chirps me all the time.
Makes you stronger.
It does.
I used to get the same conversation, though. See what happens when you apply yourself? Yeah. Remember when you used to apply yourself? Yeah, Mom. I wasn't playing junior hockey against men who have wives and children either. I don't
What do
really
you
have
want from
time here.
All right, Thursday Night Football went pretty much exactly how we thought it was going to go. Marsh did not pick the Broncos. Fortunately, Moon picked the Saints, so we're tied. Yep, we're all even heading into Sunday.
Did you not know they didn't have people playing?
Did you not know we broke it down perfectly?
Come on.
Bo Nix, I can understand.
Here's the
There
thing.
was some throws left out.
Here's the thing.
There was.
I wanted to change, but I had already announced it on the show that I was picking New Orleans.
Jamie changes all the time.
Yeah, but I'm not
Jamie
Jamie.
doesn't know what he's picked, and he just
forget.
he has no clue.
He may say something on Thursday, like Sunday.
I didn't want to be a poser.
Okay,
I'm not a poser. I just can't remember.
Yeah.
So here's the question after last night. Are the Broncos a legit team? Like, are they a legit playoff contender? That's next on 101 ESPN.
2nd and 10. Look out. And is that going to be a fumble, which is taken by Barton in the air? There's no whistle yet. And Barton, what a night this guy's having. Jaquan McMillan.
That was Al Michaels last night on the Thursday Night Football broadcast. It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. The Broncos pretty much humiliated the Saints, but this is something we saw coming, right? The Saints banged up. No Chris Olave, no Shaheed, no Taysom Hill. Their offensive line was banged up. They're starting Spencer Rattler with their in his second start. Denver's defense has been playing great this season. I didn't think last night was anything more than the Saints just being banged up and being completely overmatched. And I brought up the stats with the Saints defense, guys, where they had played 70 snaps against Kansas City on Monday night, turned around and played 60-some-odd snaps against Tampa Bay, and then we're playing on a short week.
I didn't hear that.
I brought it up several times, including in Bet the Board when I took the Broncos. That's tough, Marsh.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been.
Yeah, that's why I'm the worst.
No, you're not the worst. I was the one shot last week.
No.
It was always an off week.
An off week. I had 13. You guys were perfect. That's why I got shot. All right, Broncos. Carey, when I teased this, you were shaking your head and you threw up in a trash can right after we went to break. Are the Broncos a legit wild card team?
No, the Saints stink. The Saints turned the ball over way too many times. There was one that was turned over that was a touchdown that was called back because they were offsides. Like, there were 3 turnovers. They called 2 of them. Barton had 2 of those turnovers. The first fumble that he recovered, the second fumble that he recovered that they called back, and then the interception or fumble, whatever that was, that he returned for a touchdown. The Saints offensively couldn't do anything. Like, they just couldn't get going. There were some throws yesterday. I understand, and this is probably a rookie thing for Bo Nix, but there's a play on, you can watch it. It's everywhere. He has 2 receivers wide open. He has a tight end running the over route, and the wide receiver that was running, it looks like a go route, and both of them are wide open. And he literally hit neither of them. He threw the ball between the 2 of them, and there was no pressure. And sometimes your brain goes a little bit faster when you're a rookie quarterback. They won the game. They were able to get the job done in a what usually is a hostile environment in New Orleans. It didn't feel so yesterday. The fans were not pleased with what their team was doing. But there are too many throws, in my opinion, that Bo Nix is leaving out on the field and making mistakes on. He's using his legs really well, but that's usually a case of, I don't know where to go with the ball in a timely manner, so I'm going to pull it down and take off. And that can be problematic. He had 10 carries for 75 yards. None of those were called runs that I saw. They were all scrambles. So, there are some things that he can clean up, and when you play better teams, you're not going to be able to run the ball that effectively. You're going to have to pass the ball, and he missed too many people in the passing game yesterday.
There's a lot of things that I like about Denver. Their defense, the fact that Sean Payton coaches them, so they're well coached. They're going to be prepared. Vance Joseph is their defensive coordinator, and Vance Joseph is somebody with some head coaching experience as well. Last night they were able to run the ball, but they typically have not. Like, Javonte Williams has not been great. He was really good last night, but I love their defense. I think they're going to hang around. But ultimately, I agree with you, Carey. I don't think that you can get by with what they're doing offensively. Mm-hmm. Bo Nix, the first drive specifically was brutal, with the missed throws that he had. I don't think when you play better defenses, you're gonna get away with that. And some of his bigger performances, Tampa. Well, we've seen Tampa be shredded defensively lately. The Jets, that was a 10-9 game, so it's not like he did much. It was mostly the Broncos' defense. And then last night against an overmatched Saints team. So I'm with you. I think they're heading in the right direction. I think that's a team you circle heading next year if they spend some money because they've got the rookie QB on the rookie contract. I think moving forward, Denver's going to be a pretty competitive team. But for now, I think they're kind of a fringe wild card team that eventually bows out toward the end of the season. That's where I've got Denver. What about you, Jamie? I know you didn't get a chance to see the game because you were between the benches last night with the Blues, but just your overall impression.
I watched the condensed game and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree with you as far as Bo Nix is concerned, but I also look at it as he looks better now than he did in the first week.
Yeah.
And so I think that this is how you can develop a young quarterback within a season with a team that's not terrible. Like, now that Sean Payton's there, they're a well-coached team. He's got some weapons around him. He's got some okay protection in front of him. Like, yeah, Bo Nix is not a franchise quarterback yet, but could he be by week 8, week 9, week 10? Like, incrementally, he's gotten a little bit better each time. Now, he still makes rookie mistakes, and maybe he's just making mistakes because he's not able to do what they're asking him to do. But I'm willing to give it some time to see where this ends up in another 3-4 weeks, because based on some of the performances of some of the other teams in the conference, like the Broncos could all of a sudden find themselves to be a team that's competing for a playoff spot. Do I think they're a playoff team? I don't say that. I don't think they are right now, but you also have the Bengals sitting at what? 1-5 right now, 2-4. I think that was supposed to be a playoff team, and you got the Broncos sitting at 4-3. So it's kind of a flip-flop there. But again, the next 3-4 weeks, we'll see where everything kind of shakes out. But I think it's a fun team to watch. I do. I think Bo Nix is fun to watch. I like watching young quarterbacks that are talented because you see the good plays and you also see the mistakes. And then you look for the next week and the week after and the week after, see if some of those mistakes start to go away a little bit.
Well,
so time will tell.
To your point, I will say this about Denver. Unlike other teams, Denver's getting better. There are teams that are getting worse. Like Philadelphia really hasn't. If they're not getting worse, they're just stuck in neutral right now. They're certainly not getting better. Like that's not a team that is building momentum like you should throughout the course of the season. There's no uptick there. They're not on an upswing. Denver, I think, is different. Denver, I think, has gotten better each and every week. Now, there's a ceiling, and I think that they're getting closer to that ceiling. But ultimately, they're well coached. They got a great defense. If they can run the ball, take a little pressure off Bo Nix, I think they'll be, again, a team that at least hangs around in that wild card mix. We've got What's Trending coming up next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update. Driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex, the Blues pick up a big victory against the New York Islanders last night, a 1-0 overtime win. Jake Neighbors with the game winner. That one assisted by Philip Broberg and Joel Hofer. We'll also talk with Drew Bannister at 3:30 discussing last night's victory, so stay tuned for that. The Blues will take on the Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow with the pregame starting at 5 o'clock. Puck drop is at 6. Last night, the Cleveland Guardians defeated the New York Yankees 7-5, a David Fry walk-off. The Yankees still lead that series 2-1, and the Dodgers took care of the Mets in Game 4, a 10-2 victory for the Dodgers. They lead that series 3-1. The Guardians will look to even the series tonight, and you can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6:30. We have What's Trending coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, we had 4 big games on last night, I would say. 4. You had the Blues, you had Thursday Night Football, and you had the NLCS and the ALCS. The Blues game was fantastic. Now, the NLCS game was not that good, 10-2, Dodgers win. And Thursday Night Football was not that entertaining. But I'm sure if you were going home, maybe you caught the ending of the Guardians and Yankees game, which ended up being incredible. For one, Aaron Judge, we talked about Aaron Judge yesterday, needing to come up big in these types of moments. He does, ties the game, makes it a 3-3 ball game. Then Stanton makes it a 4-3 game, back-to-back home runs. The Yankees tack on another run. You think, okay, this game's over. Yankees are going to go up 3-0 in the series. And then John Kinsey Noel happened. Pinch hit, 2-run blast, bottom 9 with 2 outs, makes it a 5-5 game, and then David Fry ended up picking up the walk-off home run in the 10th. This is what it sounded like, courtesy of Tom Hamilton of the Cleveland Guardians radio network.
Swung on, hit high, hit deep to left. There she goes. How about that? A walk-off, 2-run home run to the bleachers and left by David Fry. And the magical 2024 season is not done by any means.
I've seen a lot of good playoff baseball games. That one has to be in the top 10. Just epic all the way through.
Yeah, that was great because you think that the Guardians are going to cruise, and then you've got Judge hitting the tiebreaker home run. Stanton, the very next batter, gives them the lead, and all of a sudden, the Guardians, with their backs against the wall, facing a 3-0 deficit, they look to be done. And then, of course, in the bottom of the 9th, you lay it out perfectly, Marsh. You got Noel hitting the home run, and then Fry delivers. It's unfortunate for the Yankees because they've kind of overused Luke Weaver at this point. They've used him in the 8th, they've used him in the 9th, they've used him. Both bullpens all of a sudden look a little shaky.
Yeah, Class A, yeah,
was the one that gave up the two shots.
I think he's given up more runs in the postseason than he did all season long.
That sounds about right.
I could be making that up. I thought I saw that.
I feel like the Yankees had a tell on him. I was watching that. We had it on the TV in the green room or whatever down at Enterprise Center, and I'm watching, and there was not even any deception. They were like, wham! I'm like, okay, once. Twice. Yeah. And I know those are good hitters. But he's faced good hitters all season long. Mm-hmm. And they tuned him up 2 in a row. Boom, boom. I was like, they've got to tell on him or something.
Yeah.
That's just my my thought.
Hey, you might be right. Now the other game, Carey, I got to concede to you, my man. You were right. I was wrong about this. I thought the Mets would bounce back. They've done so all season long. They've rebounded following ugly losses, including in this series. But I was 1,000% wrong on that.
The Dodgers are really good. I talked about it yesterday. They just
Nobody saw that coming.
Nah, I don't. Well, I think a lot of people saw it coming except for you.
I knew the Dodgers were good.
Did you?
Yeah.
'Cause they've only given up 5 runs in their last 7 games, I think, 6 games. It's pretty good.
That is very good.
Very good. And they score a lot. I don't know if you know this. We talked about it. Scoring more helps you win games.
I've heard.
Yep. So I just, to me, they are too potent of a team. They got too many guys. Ohtani and Betts are doing what they are paid to do. You said it yesterday or the day before that there is no price on paying premium players. Like when you got guys that can show up in the biggest moments, that's what it is. Ohtani hit the leadoff home run, like to start the game off. Get out of here. Let's go. I mean, he didn't hit it as far as he did the day before, but he's getting it out of the ballpark. So you got guys that to me is a tough lineup to face. And the pitching has been really good for them. Mm-hmm. Like, they've done a really good job. Yamamoto went 4 innings, 4 and a third, but, they are getting what they need out of their guys. Their bullpen is performing well. The only game that they lost in this series, again, was a bullpen game where they rolled out the starter, and then they went from there. But this, to me, they're the better team. And I don't think it's close. I know Jamie loves the OMG song. I saw him dancing to it in the office.
I had
back
it on
there
today. I was working out, and it came on because I got my. Well, Anthony,
shuffle.
You wouldn't know.
That's an omen.
I have it on.
It's a good omen.
Shuffle on my phone. It's music on your phone, Anthony. And it came on.
Yeah,
I was mid-set.
You were dancing.
And I was like, oh. And what's funny is it came on. I was kind of dancing, and I looked up at the TVs, and it was showing the Dodgers highlights.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this isn't working.
It's not. The Dodgers just got too much. They got too many guys, too many good guys, and Flaherty's going tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So see if
hope
he
he
can
gets tuned up, but probably not.
Why would you root? Why wouldn't you? Tommy Edman last night. You're not rooting for your guys. Are you not
my
rooting?
guys? They're not my guys.
They are. They're our guys.
What uniform do they wear?
They got on Dodger blue.
Yeah, they got that ugly ass Dodger blue on. I'm not.
Tommy Edman 2 for 6.
Yeah,
3
he was.
ribbies. And Marshy liked it because he had Tommy Edman 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs.
Nice job, Marshy.
Got off the saddle last
By the way,
night.
guys, who was the one that said that Shohei Ohtani's not showing up in the playoffs?
Yeah, that was you during Prove Me Wrong. I actually went back. It's funny you say that. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you believed it or not, but
you know what? You presented your case for your client.
I did what I had to do,
That's
Anthony.
the bottom line. You were a great defense lawyer.
Thank you.
And you won the case. That's it, all right?
hey, sometimes
We're on to Cincinnati.
You don't always believe what you defend.
Correct.
sometimes cases don't go the way that maybe they should. You never know.
Right.
It has happened, Andrew.
We've seen a case or two go that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted
Murder
to go
cases. Double murder, in fact.
Yeah.
I think. I just, off the top of my head.
I've never heard of that.
I want to go back to the Guardians and Yankees game. You know I love storylines and whatnot, but what I loved about last night's game is that you see both sides of postseason baseball. You see the 2 best players, or 2, for the Yankees. Stanton's probably the 3rd best player. Juan Soto's top 2.
Yeah.
With Judge. But you see Judge and Stanton go back to back. They do their job, and you're like, okay, this is what we expect to see. The big guys producing at the biggest moments. And then you get a guy like John Kenzie Noel, who has played a handful of games in Major League Baseball. He's a rookie. He becomes the first player to have a pinch hit home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning or later in a Major League postseason game. And that's courtesy of Nugget Chef on X.
Noel has had some massive hits this year for the Guardians. I feel like every time he hits a home run, it's like in a key spot. It's in a key situation. Or he hits multiple home runs in a game. He has been a really underrated player for the Guardians this year.
And then you got a guy like David Fry.
And then you got David Fry coming off the bench there to do this pinch hit thing. I mean, if the Guardians are going to win, they're going to have to win like this. It's going to be late in games like that. Yeah.
Look like David Freeze.
David Fry, David Freeze.
Do you guys really want the Guardians in the
No.
World Series?
No,
No.
of course not.
No.
Of course not.
I want the Dodgers and the Yankees in the
Quiet,
World
Carey.
Series because that is must-see TV, Jamie.
Not as.
Two largest markets in the country.
Oh, so the Mets aren't a big market?
Sure. The Mets ain't got a
You
chance.
don't think New York's a big market?
I said the two of the biggest markets in the country.
It's fine, Carey. It's fine.
You
LA
don't
and
think
New York?
JC could hit a curveball?
Seriously, he probably doesn't. That's Carey Davis, folks.
Hey, how awful would it be to be a Mets, Jets, and Islanders fan?
Oh, terrible.
Oh, man. It's a hard
awful.
life.
And they
Why is
exist.
it? They
It's a hard life.
exist.
They
Like, why do
exist.
they have to pick all three?
Mets fans are happy right now.
Yeah,
That team
they
was
are-
supposed to be
they are.
dog crap.
Well, they're about to lose.
Mets,
Yeah,
Jets,
but
That's a
Did
great
anybody see
season,
this?
but I see
and
what you're saying.
Islanders.
What's
the
wrong
Nets
with
as
the
well.
Islanders?
No,
I'm just saying in general.
They are.
Yeah.
What's your problem with the Islanders?
Then you got fans that are Knicks, Yankees, Giants, like that. And Rangers. Like they split them up.
Let's go, Rangers.
It almost feels icky if you
It's a
are
better
like
choice.
a Yankees fan and a Jets fan.
What's
Like,
that?
if you're a Mets fan, you have to be a Jets fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just feels that way.
It's Mets, Jets, Nets, and Islanders. Correct.
Yes.
Like that's
Yes.
how it goes.
It's not though. It is, but, I
but
know what you're
most
saying.
of them are. Like
but not
they
all the
don't
New
cheer,
Yorkers are like that.
But majority of them, like most guys don't cheer for the Knicks and cheer for the Jets. Like they cheer for the Giants. Like, yeah, am I wrong?
I don't know.
It's
And I mean,
To me, can we get some New Yorkers to text in? Yeah, let us know.
No, it is.
That's what I'm You're from New York? Yeah.
damn it, Stalter.
Typically, if you're a Yankees fan, you're also a Giants fan
And a Knicks
Rangers fan and a Knicks
There
fan.
you go.
If typically you're a Jets fan, you are an Islanders fan,
Yes.
you are a Mets fan, and you are a Nets
Nets.
fan. Yeah, that is typically how it
right.
goes.
That's
Not always, obviously. Like my mother is a Jets fan, but she roots for the Yankees because you know
She's an outlier.
she's an outlier.
She likes to win.
Well, she's a Jets
Only
fan.
sometimes.
Love you, Mom.
That's just how it is. It's like the shortstop who needs to bat leadoff.
Yeah,
That's
It's a
right.
rule.
There's
It's a rule.
certain
Jamie knows about that.
rules.
Yep.
It's like in Scream, you know? In order to stay alive, you got to follow certain rules.
You want to play a game?
That's not
That's
a different
Saw.
documentary.
It's different. That documentary was wild.
It was. They made several of them.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That guy was sick.
He was.
Like not turtle sick either.
No,
I actually
no.
think he was sick.
He
though.
actually was.
Yeah,
Turtle
actually
sick.
was sick.
He
Yeah.
was sick.
He really was.
He was sick and turtle sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. Yep. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Do the Blues just figure out the way they're going to win games? I talk a lot about teams being, conscious of the way they win, the way they lose. That we just find out the way the Blues do that. That's next on 101 ESPN.
I'm proud of our group. I thought we showed a lot of maturity. Like, that's a game where you can get frustrated in, and our guys just stuck with it, and they played the game the way it came to them, and they didn't deviate from what we had to do to have success. I thought, as much as it was a great road game for the Islanders, like, I thought we stayed focused, we stayed on task, and they got rewarded at the end.
That's head coach Drew Bannister of your St. Louis Blues last night following the 1-0 overtime victory over the New York Islanders. Do we just figure out how the Blues are going to win games this year? And conversely, whether or not how they lose games, how they win and lose games?
It's easy. Just get a shutout.
Oh.
That's all you need to do is don't let the other team score at all.
Who was it, John Wooden, that said if the other team doesn't score, you win?
Yeah.
That seemed. I need to do some research on that because are we sure
that he said that, or that it's true?
That is true.
Oh, it's true.
Okay.
It's true.
Jamie's done a lot of research on this, Carey. Don't push back. By the way, Drew Bannister at 3:30 today. Drew Bannister, head coach.
Bannister.
Your Blues joins us at 3:30. No, in all seriousness. So I've often talked about this.
You don't think I was serious?
No, I don't. Mostly because your face told me
you were
weren't.
dead serious.
Dead on serious.
That's the way
Sorry,
to win.
Anthony, you were talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Something. Go ahead.
About something.
Do we need to have another conversation?
No. It got bad last time. I think you guys, we're okay.
All right.
Let's go.
Sure?
Yep.
All right. We talk a lot about the Cardinals not knowing how the hell they win and lose games. We have no idea. Well, typically
don't know how they
typically we know how they lose games, but there's no formula when it comes to winning games. And I think this does play into the culture conversation. I think this also plays into the identity conversation. But Jamie,
yes,
was last night a sustainable recipe? Not that you're going to shut out every team, but do you think that is the way the Blues win the majority of the games this year? Like, if they're going to win a big matchup, that's the way they do it.
I don't know if it's this recipe of, like, this is the way they're going to win the majority of their games this way. I just think it's a team that, when you have a team that can win games that way, that's a positive. It doesn't mean you win all your games the same way.
Right.
But when you have a team that has the ability to shut down the other team and to take away, multiple scoring chances, to have great goaltending, good defensive play, and then, like Drew Bannister said, there was a level of maturity in that game because as a player, as the game keeps creeping along and it's 0-0, you start to feel like at any point now, the first team that scores is going to win before overtime, because obviously overtime speaks for itself. And so sometimes you can start to make some panic plays, or you try to do too much because you're trying to get that one goal.
Sure.
Blues didn't do that. They stayed very patient. In fact, I thought that their puck management game in the third period was by far the best that it was all game. They got pucks in behind the defense. They had more sustained zone time, less time bottled up in their own end. So if the recipe for the Blues to win hockey games is to play tight defensively and then be smart with the puck, sign me up, because I think this team has more to give offensively. I don't think we've seen their best efforts yet. Obviously, we haven't. Robert Thomas doesn't. He hasn't been on the score sheet a ton. The power play hasn't had a ton of work. There's still guys on this team that can provide offense. Braden Shen, by the way, his skating looks really good this year. He got in again yesterday on a little partial breakaway. He should have scored. He hit the post. But, and I know this is off topic, but he looks really good. So that's a positive because that plays into the offense as far as creating more goals. But, I think the Blues are going to have to be a very smart team with the puck and play very good structured defense to give themselves a chance to win. And will that turn into winning games 3-4, 5-1, 5-2? Yeah, it will, because eventually teams will panic or they'll make mistakes. But you have a team like the Islanders who are very patient too. Those are those types of teams you may have to beat them 1-0 or 2-1. And the way that the Blues are playing affords them the ability to do that.
What was the main difference last night? They obviously didn't allow any goals in comparison to the first few games. They gave up 3, 4, 3 and 4 in those first couple of games. What was the difference last night? And the Islanders had 30-plus shots on goal. So how were they able to defend them and not allow them to score?
Yeah, it just looked a lot more cohesive out there. Like the opening night against Minnesota, Minnesota plays this wonky trap in the neutral zone, causes a bunch of turnovers. You're basically forced to play sloppy hockey. Like Anthony loves the clear it camp. Like you're basically forced to just fire it off the wall and just hope for the best.
Well, it sounds like you're being almost like you're using that as a negative connotation, Jamie, which I don't appreciate. But
wait, so you thought I was using that in a negative way?
Yeah.
All right, you're right on. You're spot on.
All right.
You're paying attention.
Yep, you're paying attention.
Glad I picked up on that.
Get him a ribbon.
Okay.
But so last night I just felt like they were more connected, better puck support overall from the forwards to the defensemen, better pressure in the offensive zone. Defensemen were able to keep plays alive because forwards were in good positions to cover for them. Forwards were hungry on loose pucks. They were hungry on battle pucks. They were hungry in front of the net. Just a more dedicated effort from the puck drop to the very end.
Gotcha.
When you talk about a 60-minute game, I really felt like it was that last night. Like, was it perfect for 60 minutes? Well, no game ever is because the opponent's trying to win too. But I felt like last night was, so far this season, their best overall effort from start to finish.
Yeah, I do too. I love the way they played. Jamie, there's a couple of times where I don't know if it was off air or on air. We're talking about maybe something that might be missing right now from the Blues, and you're like, well, part of that is a little bit of a grit. Not that they don't have it, but they've got to display it. Last night, I thought they showed a lot of grit, especially in that third period when everything gets tense. You're trying not to give up the big play, but also keep your foot on the gas just a little bit so that you could score one and get one. Get a win in regulation. I thought they showed some grit, and then in overtime, I think the overtime periods have been pretty damn good for the Blues too.
Yeah, so far 2-0 in overtime.
Yeah.
We'll take that. But there was a play in the second period that, for me, kind of not changed things, but certainly helped things along. Is Pavel Buchnevich got rocked by Pelech after he shot the puck. It was a fine hit, but it was 10, 15 feet from the boards, and he flew into the boards. Jake Neighbors just made a beeline for that guy. Went right at him. Now, they didn't fight, but they wrestled around and all that. But at that point, like, the opposition now knows, okay, I'm still going to hit the guy, but if I do, I know that someone's coming for me. And that's all you want as a team, is that no opposing team feels like they're just free reign to take liberties on your team and do whatever the hell they want. Like, there's nothing worse than being on a team that has no response. I've played against teams like that, and I'm like, this is going to be a fun night. Good luck, guys. It's like throwing a steak into the dog yard. You're like, okay, boys, go get it. But then when you play a team that has some pushback, and I'm not even talking about like heavyweight that's going to come up and like tap you on the shin pads, you want to go. I'd be like, you play twice a game. You're out of position. Get back on the bench.
You're not worth it.
Seriously. Hang on. Put on our jersey because you're our best player.
Damn. Remember that one guy said that to you that one time?
It did.
That hurt.
Yeah.
That
It hurt him
deep.
more later.
We don't want dog park dogs. We want Russian park at night type dogs.
Gorky Park dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't be
walk
walking
through that park
park.
at night.
Not at night. Not at night.
We got a text from Grant Francis fan club. Is Hitch still a consultant for the Blues? That win was in his style. Also reminded me of Claude Julien's 2011 Bruins. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, Hitch is a consultant, but he's a consultant. He's not sitting there as the defensive strategist for the St. Louis Blues. Like, Drew Bannister, I think, if nothing else, he's displayed ultimate confidence in himself. I think he's going to take words of wisdom from everything that's around him, and he's going to implement it the way he sees fit. But I think Drew and the coaching staff overall, all of them, I think they realize that this is the way this team is going to have to play to win hockey games. And once you unlock a little bit more of the offense, then games like that will feel a little bit easier.
All right, don't forget, we have Drew Bannister coming up at 3:30 right here on 101 ESPN. It's Fastlane. Let's get into some Mizzou football. Should Mizzou fans be more concerned maybe about the defense than the offense? It's next on 101 ESPN.
Welcome back here to the Fast Lane, 101 ESPN. We got Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and let's talk some Mizzou football. Carey, I know it's one of your favorite teams to watch, so let's talk about that.
Go Tiger.
Go Tigers.
Yeah.
Big question is that people are having and listening to a lot of discussions surrounding Mizzou football is it should fans be more worried about the defense rather than the offense? Because like watching that last couple of games, the Mizzou Tigers are, I don't know if they're refusing or choosing to not blitz. And why would a team not blitz? Is it just because they have no confidence in their secondary?
Well, that could be one thing. You don't know if your secondary can hold up. But if you feel that way, you probably should be putting a little bit more pressure on the quarterback, pressing and forcing the ball out sooner. That way you don't have to cover as long. Or maybe we have a lot of confidence in our front four that they can get to the quarterback without having to blitz and we can drop more people into coverage.
They're not.
A lot of those things, it's a game-by-game decision whether or not you want to blitz or go after people. I think the offense is more of a concern. I don't know how you all feel. I just look at – I expected this offense to be – especially coming off of the year you had last year, Luther Burton, Theo Weiss, you had these guys returning and in the same style of offense, in the same mindset, same play call, the same plays. I expected them to be a lot more explosive than they are right now. And so for me, it's more concerning about the offense as opposed to the defense. The defense, I don't think they're playing poorly. They're allowing about 270 yards a game. I don't think they're playing poorly. I think the offense, complementary football, if you got a guy like Luther Burton III who is going to be, a top 5, top 10 pick, and you got a guy like Theo Weiss who can stretch the field, you should be able to. Mookie Cooper, also one of those really good slot receivers. Like, they should be more explosive, in my opinion, offensively than what they are. And I think it's more of an offensive issue than a defensive issue.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the offense has been more of a problem. Let me ask you guys this. If coming into the year, or not coming into the year, right now, I would say to you, the running game has not been an issue. How would you guys feel?
I would feel like this team would be 6-0 and probably top
really
5,
good shape.
top 10 team in the country.
I agree, because that was the deal, right? Cody Schrader, it was gone, and it was like, how are they going to replace Cody Schrader? The running game has actually been fine, but the offense is missing something. Oof. It is. Yeah, they've run the ball fine, but I don't think Brady Cook has played well. I think there's too many times where he'll drop his eyes looking to escape the pocket, or maybe if he hung in just a little bit longer, he might have somebody that comes open. I think that overall he's lacked that big playability. There's been some penalties, some egregious penalties that Mizzou has made offensively that has wiped off touchdowns, including in that Texas A&M game. I don't think the defense has played that great. I think they make one or two mental mistakes per game, some of which have cost them touchdowns, like the one against Boston College. There was another one against Vandy. I think Mizzou this season has just kind of been fine, but I think they've really played like more of a 15 to 25 ranked team than a top 15 team.
I agree. And I don't know why. I don't know what. It's just the Texas A&M loss really put a sour taste in my mouth. Just the way that they showed up or didn't show up. It didn't look like a team that should have been a top 10 team in the country at that time. Not to go in there and lose in the manner in which you did. And then you almost had the loss against Vandy where obviously a couple of weeks later you realize Vandy it might be a really damn good team. But at home against Vandy in that moment of the season, like those 3 games, that 3-game stretch, Boston College, Vandy, Texas A&M, I think you learned a lot about this team, and the rose-colored glasses that you may have had going into the season, you kind of taking them off and looking at them from a broader picture and saying, maybe we aren't as good as we thought we were. And again, I tell people this all the time. What you did the previous year does not matter.
Right.
It is never the same team. It doesn't matter if it's high school, college, pro. The team changes. High school people graduate. College people graduate, transfer. NFL people get out of free agency or they retire or get cut. Like, it is never the same people on the team year after year. So you may have the expectations of doing some of the similar things that you did, but the following year, you still have to put in the work and get it done. And right now, I think it's offensively. I don't know if it's solely Brady Cook that is not the one that's getting it done, but just offensively, they don't look as in sync and as explosive as they did last year.
Yeah, I completely agree. And this is only going to get more difficult. I mean, maybe not with Auburn this week. And I know that Auburn has had good years in previous seasons, but their offense is fine. Their defense is fine. Like this is not an overly loaded lineup here, or overly loaded Auburn team that's coming in. To me, and things can change in a hurry. And I don't want this to seem like I'm just talking about the A&M loss, but to me, this has been a disappointing season for Mizzou. I had higher expectations of how it would look. They didn't look great against Boston College in that win. They didn't look great against Vandy, and I know Vandy beat Alabama, so obviously that Vanderbilt team's a hell of a lot better than anybody thought. But their one true test thus far, going on the road to College Station, they got absolutely waxed. Mm-hmm. So to me, this Mizzou team has been the epitome of fine. And in a year where you're ranked, inside the top 10, you're building all this momentum because of the off seasons you've had. I've largely been disappointed.
I agree. And I don't think it's over for Mizzou. I don't think that they're at a point like they could go take care of business this week against Auburn. Then they can go to Alabama. You beat Alabama on the road. That's a huge win. And it's a must win, I will say, because whichever one of those teams is a 2-loss team is probably not in the playoffs at that point. So that this week, you're in a must win situation from here on out. Like you got to beat Auburn this weekend. You got to beat Alabama next weekend. You get to face Oklahoma at home, who is now unranked because of how they got smacked last week against Texas. But those are really good teams. So Mizzou is in a place, and they put themselves in this place. If you go to Texas A&M and let's say you lose by a field goal, it doesn't look or feel the same. But you go down there and get smacked around, and people are like, you all didn't even deserve to have that top 10 ranking. And the mindset shifts because of how you performed in that situation. Illinois went to Penn State. We lost by a couple of touchdowns. Penn State is the number 3 team in the country right now. It's not looked at as as bad of a loss as it would be if we would have got smoked like Mizzou did, 41-10 or 41-3, whatever the score should have been, right? So it's how it looks, and now Mizzou is in a place where they're scrambling, and they have to. You have to win with style points as well, in my opinion, because you have to prove to people that what you saw in Texas A&M was just a bad week. What we really are is the team that's hopefully going to beat Auburn by 2 or 3 touchdowns this weekend, going to Alabama and win by 10 points. Like that really has to be the mindset, I think, for Mizzou going forward.
Yeah, I agree. So Mizzou, again, they'll take on Auburn this weekend. There's some bigger college football matchups that we'll get into throughout the course of the show today. Tonight, though, you got Oregon and Purdue.
Mm-hmm. That should be a close one.
Purdue put up 49 last week.
I don't expect Oregon to lose.
Really? Why is that?
But this is a true letdown spot. So
no chance.
You're at home against Ohio State. It goes to the brink, and now you have to play on the road West Lafayette on a Friday night against a bad Purdue team.
You could field
a bad Purdue team that just scored 49. I think this game is going to be closer than people think.
And win that game.
Dude.
I don't disagree, Jamie.
Yeah, this is a trap game for Oregon. They're looking ahead to next week.
Trap game.
This is a letdown and a trap game.
They're looking ahead to next week. They got a big matchup next week.
Illinois?
Yeah. ILL.
Fire up Illini.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Fire up Illini, baby. Oklahoma State is at BYU tonight as well. And then tomorrow you got Mizzou hosting Auburn. It's an early matchup. Alabama and Tennessee. Alabama's 7, Tennessee is 11.
That's gonna be good.
That one's gonna be good. You're right. This is what his. I apologize. I beat the dead horse on this all the time. But tell me again how expanding the playoff format was going to ruin the regular season.
Oh, it's going to water down everything, Anthony.
It's going to make it. The regular season it's going to make it worth less.
Yeah.
Go fast lane yourself if you had that opinion.
Well,
like, what in the fast lane were you thinking?
Okay, but so in fairness now, let's go back 4 or 5 years ago. It would have been different. The way college football is situated now, there's more parity, whether it's recruiting, whether it's NIL money, whatever it is, the top 25 teams can all cannibalize each other. It wasn't like that 4 or 5 years ago. You know that. The 20th team playing the number 1 team, it was still a bloodbath.
You're still getting matchups like Alabama, Tennessee. Replace them with two other teams, Jamie, with one loss, meeting on a Saturday, needing to absolutely win to stay in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I understand that the implications would be the same.
Right.
But I don't think the teams would be the same, meaning like there wouldn't be as
There's way more
competitive.
parity now.
Yes.
To your point, than there was a couple of years ago. My overall point of these mother fast lanes talking about how the regular season would somehow take a back seat was just asinine.
It is now, yes.
And it would have been then, too.
I don't know.
Why are you doing that?
I'm just...
It's a nice Friday. Everybody's having fun. The weather's perfect. Blues coming off a win last night. Why are you doing that?
I'm just trying to be... I'm using my own memory of... a handful of years ago, just how a team like the 2 teams playing in the top 25 doesn't mean it was going to be a good game because it could be 2 crap teams.
Got a lot of nerve.
now they're good teams.
This is Fastlane on 101 ESPN. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk to Drew Bannister about the big win last night, get his pulse on what's going on with the Blues. How do the Blues handle the situation with Binnington and Hofer? We're going to get into that at some point as well, and Jamie's got some real good thoughts here on Philip Broberg as well. But why don't we get into some NFL? Let's get into the NFL the big game predictions. Lions, Vikings this weekend, Texans, Packers, Chiefs, and 49ers. We'll do some NFL Week 7 big game predictions next. got some big matchups in the NFL this weekend, including Marsh's Minnesota Vikings hosting Jamie's Detroit Lions. Marsh, as we sit here on a Friday, I'm sure you're psyched out of your mind.
I'm kind of nervous.
Okay, well, all right. I'm sure as we sit here on a Friday, you're absolutely nervous. So what's the thought process?
I fully anticipated Marshy wearing the Vikings helmet today.
I'm disappointed that he didn't.
That's not Marsh's nature, though.
I'm more of a I'll wear it on Monday type guy.
Yeah.
I'm very superstitious. I don't like pumping up my team because I know the second I do, they'll make me cry.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
And especially the Vikings, they have a history of doing that.
Right. Yeah. See, these guys wouldn't know.
No, you know.
As Pittsburgh Steelers fan,
You know.
as New England Patriot fan,
Yeah.
I'm feeling it now.
They wouldn't know.
I'm feeling it now.
Jamie, you have no
My
fast lane
Patriots-
idea
my
what it's
Patriots
like to be a
wouldn't
Vikings or
qualify.
Falcons fan.
My Patriots wouldn't qualify for the college football playoff this year.
No, they wouldn't. No, that's true. That's absolutely true. So you're nervous.
Yeah.
All right,
the Lions are a good team.
What's the matchup? What's got you nervous?
All of it.
David Montgomery has me nervous.
He's a machine.
I haven't seen a team be able to run the football on Minnesota. And I don't know if it's the running backs themselves can't do it, or if, Minnesota and their defense are playing a huge part of it. That is a thing. Like Brian Flores is no joke here. But David Montgomery, he's a bowling ball. He's a different animal. He's probably, I would say, the best running back that they are going to, or that they will see in the first, 6 games. Like Breece Hall's good, don't get me wrong, but Breece Hall's struggled so far this season because of that offense. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, they're different animals. It scares me.
They are, and he's not wrong. The Minnesota Vikings missed out on Christian McCaffrey. I think Joe Mixon was down with an ankle injury. He didn't play. The running back, was it? No. Running back.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs played.
He's fine.
But he didn't. This will be their first chance. And I can tell you why Marshy's a little nervous. You got Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams. Like, they got a lot of guys that can make big plays.
And the best offensive line in football.
And Jared Goff, they got linemen catching passes out of the backfield. I'd be nervous, too. If I'm just being honest. You should be nervous. This is a really good Lions
I like
team.
the Vikings in this game.
You guys are crazy.
Me too.
What?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I like the Vikings in this game. I think, we talk a lot about exactly what Carey just threw out there with all the weapons that the Lions have. I think that's fantastic. Their defense, especially now without Aiden Hutchinson, it's nothing to write home about.
Justin Jefferson has 1,073 yards in 8 games against the Lions.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Well,
It's not bad.
he's going to tally about 100 more this weekend.
I would love that.
I don't think the secondary is anything to write home about for Detroit. They've tried to solve their cornerback issue. They drafted 2 corners, including the kid out of Mizzou. But I think that this is a matchup where Minnesota can move the ball just as effectively. I wish Aaron Jones were healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know about his status now. He's still questionable.
That's another
now.
reason why I'm nervous, because he is a complete game changer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2 weeks. He should be good to go.
But let's not pretend that the Vikings don't have plenty of skill guys, too. They've got Justin Jefferson. They've got Jordan Addison. Maybe a TJ Hawkinson back this week. I don't know.
Hey, you don't forget about C.J. Ham.
C.J. Ham
Give the
is
fullback some love.
there. They've got some speed. I like Minnesota in this matchup.
Yeah, I like Detroit, and I think it's going to be tough on the old Vikings. It's going to be a rough game for them.
Well, you'll know by 3 o'clock whether I'm having a good Sunday or not.
Texans and Packers. I feel very confident that the Packers win this game. If they can protect Jordan Love, I think that he throws for 300 plus. Houston, to me, has not been overly impressive. I've been saying that now for weeks, and maybe this is the week that I eat crow on the Texans. But I think Green Bay's the better team. They're at home. I think they find a way to slow down Houston's offense, and they come away with the dub. I got the Packers.
I got the Texans. I think you're high.
On life.
Both can be true.
Yeah. It's bottom line.
I got the Packers as well. I think they are the better team. Jordan Love, after his injury, He was limping around in that first game when he came back, but now he's completely healthy. They got a lot of guys that he can get the ball to. I think the Packers are the team that's going to win. What do you look at me like that for?
Because you said you take the Packers?
Yeah, I do.
Jamie, so far your reasonings have been because we're high.
I'm going to say it
That's kind of all I got right now.
Marsh, who do you got in this game?
I have the Packers. I really do.
I'm going home. I can't stand you guys. I'm going home.
You're out of here?
I'm filing a grievance.
Man, the Texans won. Their best wide receiver is not playing.
Nico Collins. Yeah.
You know, that's it.
I thought you said Packers. I'm like,
No, Houston.
James playing. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust them. I think that's really what it comes down to. I don't know if I trust them.
Let's look at Houston's resume to this point, right? And this is not to say that the Texans are a bad team. I think that there's some confusion that happens, right? We're like, I haven't been impressed. Well, they are 5-1. I get it. They beat the Colts by 2. They beat the Bears by 6.
That was a big win.
They got absolutely smacked by Marsh's Vikings. So their first big test, they lost 34-7. They beat the Jaguars by 4. And Jacksonville had a lead in the fourth quarter of that game. And that was at home. They beat Buffalo by 3 because Buffalo doesn't have coaching.
You give them love.
And they won by 20 against a team that Jamie just admitted, and he's right, wouldn't even crack the college football playoff this year in the New England Patriots. And that's their resume.
And you're playing at Lambeau.
Where the ghost of Lambeau past walks around.
Yeah,
ghost
Packers.
of Curly Lambeau still haunts the concourse. All right. Chiefs 49ers. I'm not going against the Chiefs. Especially with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes off a bye.
I got the Chiefs as well.
You don't love it, though.
No, I don't. I don't love it. I don't know. The 49ers are an intriguing team. I think they are starting to get healthy, but it's going to be hard for me. And I don't know who the heck Patrick Mahomes is throwing the ball to. Juju Smith-Schuster. I know Travis Kelce is there, but what else you got? You know?
Yeah.
So, but I still, even with all that being said, I still got the Chiefs in this one.
I had the Chiefs.
I had the Chiefs too, but that was probably the matchup that has given me the most fits.
Yes.
I just don't. I think it's a coin flip. Like, I could see the 49ers winning just because it's the regular season. They just can't get the job done against the Chiefs in the playoffs when it really matters. Sorry, Tanisha, but
wow.
You know, I could see them winning. They're at home. They're at home. They had a huge win last week against the Seahawks, so
they've had some weird games.
If McCaffrey was playing, I would take the 49ers. Because I think he adds an element out of the backfield that is lacking for this team. And I told you, the amount that the Chiefs blitz, you can get a one-on-one matchup with an elite player out of the backfield. Now, here's the other thing. Don't be surprised if you see a lot of Deebo Samuel in the backfield, because that does give them that option. Maybe you put bring Juwan Jennings in and put him in that slot and let Deebo get in the backfield, because that does give you the option of really attacking the Chiefs in the pass game out of the backfield. Yep. They blitz a lot, which means you're going to have a linebacker trying to peel and cover a running back, or you're going to put a defensive lineman, which either one of those are a mismatch for a running back, let alone a wide receiver. So if I'm the 49ers, I may have talked myself into taking the 49ers if that's their game plan.
I think you were heading that way anyways. Kind of felt it. Yeah. All right, we got to get to Drew Bannister, head coach of your St. Louis Blues. He joins us next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues pick up a victory last night. In overtime, a 1-0 victory over the New York Islanders. They'll take on the Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. We're going to talk with head coach of your St. Louis Blues, Drew Bannister. That's coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Super Bowl champ Carey Davis and former Blues defenseman Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. We're joined by the head coach of your St. Louis Blues, Drew Bannister. Coach, how are you?
Good, guys. How are you?
We're doing great. What a performance last night by your players. Was that thus far the most complete effort out of your boys from start to finish?
Yeah, I would agree. I think we were all really happy with the game. Proud of the response of the guys too, and how they played. Obviously, we were disappointed with our game the night before. Coming off the road and playing some pretty good hockey on the road. The response itself was really pleasing to me. But it was a game that you could get frustrated in, and I think in previous instances with our team. That might be a game that gets away on us a little bit. Just getting frustrated with not having a lot of success, the way we were playing and kind of deviate from our game. And I just thought we showed a lot of maturity in our game, just to stick with it. And, they get rewarded at the end.
Coach, the addition of Philip Broberg had a lot of Blues fans just excited about the future of the hockey club, what he could be as a defenseman down the road and things like that. But, man, I'm telling you what, I'm watching this guy play this season, and he's already playing with a level of maturity that I didn't really expect right away. From a coach's standpoint, from you guys as a coaching staff, what are some of the things that you're seeing from Philip Broberg that you really like?
Yeah, and I think just speaking in the present, how good he has, and not even about the future, like what he's done, what he's brought to our defense core, the size, the ability to skate, the physicality, moving pucks, getting up in the play. It's another dimension that we're able to add to our group to be able to play more aggressive, be more involved in the rush, be more involved in the forecheck. So certainly, he's had an outstanding start for us and, has been a big part of the games where we've had success in.
Coach, I'm always intrigued by this. As former players, we're self-motivated. We know when we played well, when we didn't. As a coach, how do you get the most? How do you manage knowing when to push and get after the team, knowing that they didn't perform well? And when do you know just to take it back just a little bit and back off and allow them to figure it out on their own?
Yeah, I think, after the game on Tuesday, we had to do a little bit of soul searching. Like, that was a game that was very uncharacteristic of what we saw in the previous three. But there was parts of our game that were okay, but there was parts of the game that were very concerning to us that we felt needed to be pointed out to our players. Then it's up to the players to make the adjustments to what we're seeing and what we're showing them. And to be able to have success. And, then you fast forward, another night and you see what you showed the players and them executing on it and then getting rewarded for it. And then you fast forward to this morning, and a lot of the clips, the video that we showed were, the complete opposite. It was the positive of, what we had spoken about before, whether it was, our support around the puck, our counters in the neutral zone, which we felt on Tuesday, we were really slow. And last night I thought we were very deliberate in getting pucks up to our forwards quick and playing a faster game in the neutral zone to be able to catch, the defenders kind of coming one way and us being able to go the other way quick with numbers. So, those are just things you kind of pick out. Obviously, over the course of the year, there's some times where you want to.
You all right there, Coach?
There's a fire alarm going on.
Be safe, Coach. If you got to hang up, go for it.
This could be annoying. So
yeah, no problem. Hey,
that's all right, Coach.
Listen, hang up. We'll try to get a hold of you again.
Give me a call
later.
back and check on and make sure I'm okay.
Yeah, we will, Coach. Yeah, be safe. All right,
Be safe.
We're sending help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a balcony, but it's a long drop.
No, yeah, don't do that.
Be
Yeah.
safe.
No, you just won. Don't do it.
Yep. All right, Coach.
All right, Coach, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, we'll circle back to you.
Till next time, guys.
All right, see ya. Yeah. We've had a lot of guests on. None thus far have pulled the fire alarm to get out of talking to us.
A little much.
And after a win, I think that's a little
You can hear his
shady.
voice too, because he paused. You hear like he's pulling the
Totally.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, and he acted surprised. Like,
Mid-conversation.
what happened?
Oh, fellas, I don't know what's going on here.
Right, I'm sorry.
Have you
It's
guys
well
ever
played.
pulled the fire alarm at school or anything?
No, man, that's come on.
It's illegal, isn't it?
He hasn't said no yet.
Really? My grandfather was a firefighter. You had to then go check on your
At
your
least you got him
prank.
to do something.
I never pulled the fire alarm, but I did. We used to have
There's a great story
a
behind it.
fire extinguisher at the house, and I was a kid, and I just wanted to see what color it was. So
Oh, that's not much of a mess.
Ooh, yeah, the whooping after that.
I was about to say, what happened?
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what color it was. What color is this?
You see, your parents probably saw the color red after.
Wow.
Yeah.
All over the kitchen?
Yep. Yeah. It was pretty.
Precautionary, Mom.
Yeah, just making sure it worked properly,
Right.
You never know unless you use it.
Yeah.
That happened to me in college, actually.
What?
My house, we were having a get-together, called a get-together, with a lot of people. And next thing you know, I walk into the kitchen, and just everywhere. It's everywhere.
The fire extinguisher?
Everywhere. It trailed down. I lived in the basement at the time. In the basement, everywhere.
Who did that?
I have no idea.
It's a horrible cleanup.
We have
It's a
no
lot.
clue.
It takes a while.
Yeah, it does.
Figure that out.
It's supposed to put out fires, so yeah. It's going to get
What
messy.
to see. As a kid, man.
How old were you? 15, 16?
18.
I was like 8.
32.
Yeah. This happened last week, fellas.
So, all right, what's your story then, Jamie?
So we were, I won't say what year, but we were on the road, and it's before cell phones and whatnot, and a couple of my teammates, people, you're all on the same floor, was after the bar on the road, and this is throwing a little bit of an after party at the hotel. But now the after party, most of the time, people fizzle out. This one, for whatever reason, people were not fizzling out. It was like picking up speed, and more people kept showing up, and there were people all through the hallways. And it was a party. Well, one teammate in particular wanted to just have the party end, wanted certain people to leave. Well, they weren't leaving. So he called my room, and he says, "Hey, you're down by the end of the hall, right?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Pull the fire alarm. I got to get rid of these people." So, as a good teammate, poked my head out, casually walked by, pulled the thing, went in.
Yeah.
Got everybody out.
Everybody got to get
there
out.
you go, yeah.
Once you're out, don't
Everybody
come
out
back
of the
in.
pool.
Right.
We're done here.
The automatic the sprinklers, they don't automatically start.
Nah,
shutting off, right?
They have, there's
Heat
got to be
sensors.
smoke.
Yeah.
Smoke.
Smoke,
Some of them
fire.
have heat sensors.
Yeah.
Even.
Or if you put if you hang your clothes up there and decide to take the hanger down, maybe it might come out and
They tell you not to hang your
Are
clothes.
you,
Hotel.
are you
shouldn't do
speaking
that.
of
It didn't happen to
experience?
me.
Who did it happen to?
It's somebody that I know.
Probably shouldn't do that.
Why would they use that as there's plenty of spots?
Anthony, I don't know. I don't know.
You would have to use a chair to get all the way
get
up there.
Anthony, I
In a
don't
hotel
know
room?
the answers.
Some of them are
Maybe
like
you're
off
tall
the wall.
to this question.
You can hang things, but
Yeah.
they tell you not to.
They do tell you not to.
Do
I think
not
it's a
hang
sign right
from-
there. Do
yes,
not hang.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like right
Hang
next
it in
to
the closet or
Don't hang your
the
clothes
shower. Or,
and don't smoke directly under the sprinkler.
yeah.
I wouldn't do that. Doesn't make a lot
Two
of
things.
sense.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would file these under the common sense area of things.
Well, some people lack that, Anthony.
True.
Lots of people.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 to ESPN. Drew Bannister, yeah.
Good talk.
Allegedly
Yeah, I hope
pulled the
he's
fire
okay.
alarm.
Let me make sure nothing
I
happened.
don't think Drew pulled it. Drew's a responsible guy.
How do you know? Were you there?
I wasn't there, no.
How did the Blues handle Binnington and Hofer this season between the pipes? We'll get into that conversation next on 101 ESPN.
Kessel turned it over in the corner. Pellick with a shot deflected there in front. Recovered, fired towards the goal, and it ends up underneath the goaltender, Hofer, who was sprawled to the ice from the first attempt.
Yeah, it felt good. Thought I stayed present throughout the game. I had a lot of fun. That was a big thing. Those are fun games to be a part of. Those tight games against a good team. So it's huge to get those 2 points.
All right, following the Blues victory last night, you heard some of the sights and sounds. Chris Gerber also on the call right here on the Blues Radio Network, 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Carey?
No, I was reading the text. It was just kind of funny. Yeah. Well, it said trade Benner. Hofer starts 82 games. Duh, his name is literally Hofer, like Hall of Famer.
He brings up really good points, guys. All right, so how do the Blues handle Binnington and Hofer this season in between the pipes, Jamie? Just as they did a year ago, 60-40?
Yeah, I think
ish.
I think last year was more of a 70-30. I think you go to a 60-40 this year. I think you'll see a little more of Joel Hofer here in the front half of the season. Mostly because I think the Blues realize that you cannot just bury your number one goalie. There's only a few goalies that can actually play 55, 60, 65 starts, and I don't know if Jordan Binnington is made that way, which is fine. It's fine because you have Joel Hofer, who you would like to see play 35 games this year, probably. Mm-hmm. I think 35 games is fair. The rest go to Binnington, but I think you front load the schedule pretty good this year before the midway point, so that Hofer has a lot of the starts. So in the back half of the season, if you're looking to win hockey games, or you're looking to go for it, whatnot, Jordan Binnington is now your guy, and it's not that he's well rested; he's just been rested appropriately.
Yeah.
So does it? And we are so far away from this, and I don't know why I'm asking, but I'm going to ask. Playoffs. You make the playoffs. How does that play out? Because we see that with Boston when they were going kind of back and forth with their two guys, and one guy started the entire time, and
then they switched it to the other guy.
That didn't work out well for him. How does and again we're gonna speak it into existence. We want it to be a problem. How does that work?
Oh, it's easy. Jordan gets your net.
Okay,
that's it. I mean, he's won a Stanley Cup. And should have arguably been the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Ryan O'Reilly had a great playoff, too. You flip a coin. But Jordan Binnington had a fantastic playoff. The last time we saw Jordan Binnington in the playoffs, he was almost single-handedly going to eliminate the Colorado Avalanche until that scumbag Nazem Kadri ran into him and messed up his knee. You don't have a big-game goalie and put him on the bench. Mm-hmm. That's just the bottom line. Yeah. Now, if he struggles or something happens and he's just not good, it is nice to have the option to put in a goalie like Joel Hofer, but come playoff time, Jordan Binnington's going for me every night.
The other thing that, in relation to the goaltenders, Jamie, that keeps getting brought up is whether or not the Blues should lock up Hofer so that nobody can offer sheet him. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see a real big problem here. Doug Armstrong has talked about there will be cap space available. And here's what Army learned about offer sheets this summer. I shouldn't say that they learned. Maybe he already knew. Here's what he disclosed about the offer sheets, is that if you have players that could potentially be poached, you make sure you have enough salary cap to match whatever anybody offers. And that's what the Boston Bruins did. They had Swayman, who was, one of the best goalies in the league. They had like 8 or 9 million cap space. So if somebody decided to throw out an offer sheet, the Bruins could say, we'll match that. Thank you. Bug off.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Army's going to plan to do here, because I believe he's got Hofer and Jake Neighbors coming up here at the end of this season. So Army's going to make sure he has enough cap space to match any offer that's going to be sent their way. Army's not a lock-it-up long-term guy, ordinarily. Do I see him throwing out a 4-year deal to Joel Hofer? Possibly. Do I see an 8-year deal? No, I don't see that. I just don't. Unless that's where the market's taken. We see a lot of goalies sign 8-year deals now, but those are number one goalies. Like, beyond a shadow of a doubt, they're number one goalies. Mm-hmm. Joel Hofer, at the end of this season, probably still not the number one goalie. He could be paid handsomely as a backup goalie, maybe a little bit of a bridge deal. But I don't see a scenario where Army messes up so much that there's offer sheets coming for Neighbors and Hofer, and he can't match it.
That makes sense. I wonder, too, with the way that hockey has trended now for several years, if what Doug Armstrong, like you've kind of outlined, if it just makes sense for most teams to do it this way, where they ensure that if they got a young player that is on the upswing, to have a little tucked away salary cap wise, to make sure that you could just simply match that offer and don't even mess around.
Yeah.
Like you're suggesting. And I wonder if with what Doug Armstrong did this past offseason, if things start to change a little bit, if you're in front offices. Like, hey man, we saw what Doug Armstrong just did. That could open up a can of worms. If we got a young player we really like, but we're up against it with the cap, we have to not be up against it with the cap.
Yeah.
We've got to have a little bit left over in the old piggy bank.
I think what you're going to see is there's a lot of front offices that from the day Army handed out those offer sheets, had a meeting the very next day, and we're like, okay, two things. One, how do we stop this from happening to our team? Mm-hmm. Two, how do we do this to other teams?
Right.
And then they got on the salary cap page, and they're earmarking teams that are going to be up against it next year, that have good, solid, restricted free agents that are going to be coming up for contract. And I think what Army did was he opened Pandora's box here. And I think that you're going to see a lot more teams in the future targeting teams that have no cap space and trying to steal their younger players.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because a team like the Vegas Golden Knights that are always up against a salary cap, at some point you're going to pay a tax, and the tax is going to be someone swooping in to pick up one of your young players because you can't afford to match them, because you're in salary cap hell almost every offseason until you do some salary cap gymnastics to try and figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing to do the offer sheets, another thing for the guy that you got to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can do that, and if the player is, he's not all that what he was cracked up to be, and maybe we'll use Philip Broberg, because we were talking about him earlier with Drew Bannister, and Jamie asked the question about him, and he's point per game guy. If he's not as good as we're anticipating, then maybe teams are like, all right, like, maybe we don't do this because it didn't really work out for the Blues. It's working out for the Blues right now.
Yeah.
So that might entice other teams to do it even more. But we did get a text from the 618. Wanted to know what you guys think. You can't cut your cap short. Wait. You can't. Jeez.
You want Anthony to read it for you?
Well, that was a swipe at both of us.
Your cap.
Just an absolute. That was just an absolute. That wasn't even a ricochet shot. You went through me to stab Marsh.
All right, here we go. Let's
If I
try
slice
this again.
his neck, I can get to him pretty quickly. That's what you did.
We'll try this one more time. You can't cut your cap short every year and win the cup, though.
How is that true? How is that? Nope. Where's the research that says you can't? Like, I don't get that comment at all.
Is it based on
Because
like what Vegas has done? And
No, here's
Do
the
I
deal.
need to re-say it? Is that why you didn't understand it?
No, here's why it's wrong, is because you're still allotting that cap space for these players. So you're not cutting payroll. Mm-hmm. It's not like the Cardinals are just throwing away the season to cut payroll. We're not doing that. What we're talking about is you're leaving a gap that you will fill with the salaries of restricted free agents on your team. Mm-hmm. You're just not filling it until you have a contract in place. So you're not shedding salary. It's not like I got to be way under the... No, you're just waiting until you can get the right deal done. Or if somebody offer sheets them, now you can match it with the money you have in the cap bank, we'll call it.
Right. It's knowing which players are coming off the books on certain years. You're planning ahead rather than going year by year and looking at
That's
the
called
cap.
good business.
That is called good business.
Are the Blues going to be one of those teams that are close to cap hell? Because you got a couple of guys. It's P.O. Joseph also, and you got Toropchenko also going to be restricted free agents.
That's nothing.
You never worry about those guys?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Those are like $1 million players, if that. So.
And
Is that how much? Is that?
I'd like to be $1 million player.
Hey, Carey.
Yeah, no, hell yeah.
you just told us you need elbow surgery. Now you're stretching?
I do.
League minimum when I started was 175.
What is it now?
175
Now it's
million.
750.
Yeah. Hey.
Highest amount I ever made in a season. 700. League minimum 750.
I can teach me how to skate. I do need surgery, but what you don't know about me is my pain tolerance extremely high.
It better be.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Physically and mentally.
All of the above.
Speaking of mental shame, I lost yesterday in the Gauntlet, but by 2.
Who do you think Jeremy's going
What was the
with?
score?
Doesn't matter. Jeremy's back. Round 2 next in the Gauntlet on 101 ESPN.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
His Fastline on 101 ESPN 401. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome back Jeremy for round 2 of the Gauntlet. What's up, Jeremy?
Hello, fellas. How's it going?
Welcome back, my man. Nice job there. You pitched a shutout yesterday. What's that?
I felt sorry for you yesterday when you were standing in the penalty box.
No need. No need. You should celebrate.
Yes, sir, I did.
There you go. Good. All right, Jeremy, round 2. Who would you like to take on, Jamie, Carey, or Marsh?
I think I'm going to go Jamie.
Hey.
Jamie Rivers is up right now.
Jamie Rivers.
Yes, sir.
Good luck,
Yes,
man.
sir.
No, we didn't
Thank
do
you.
it.
I was holding the pen.
Hey, guys.
It's not as cool as yours.
No, it's not. Carey Davis. Yeah, that's way cooler. All right, Jeremy, go ahead. Tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Mars.
What category are you hoping for?
Random after yesterday, but I'll take baseball or hockey also.
Okay. What do we get?
Whoa!
What?
We're going to talk about like millimeters away from being random. It is hockey.
Hockey.
Okay.
So
Man, I set myself up for failure here.
No. You're not, listen, Jamie doesn't know as much hockey as you think he does.
Not nearly as much as I know.
He knows a lot.
He knows a whole lot.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm going to take the bad walk today, fellas. But
No.
That's
Hey,
all right.
let's do it. Let's do that hockey. Here we go. 4 questions, all worth 2 points. Each question, like I said, is worth 2 points. If you ask for the options, it's worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I am ready, sir.
The Blues' recent 3-goal comeback victory in San Jose marked the 5th time in franchise history they've pulled off a 3-goal third-period comeback. They did it once last year in a 7-5 win against which team?
Ooh. Options, please.
The Washington Capitals, the Chicago Blackhawks, or the Los Angeles Kings?
Blackhawks, final answer.
Question number 2. Name the first team to suffer 3 regulation losses on the season starting the season 0-3-0.
Ooh. Options, please. Jeez.
Is it the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Pittsburgh Penguins, or the Buffalo Sabres?
I'll go. What was the first choice? I'm sorry.
Columbus Blue Jackets, Pittsburgh Penguins, Buffalo Sabres.
I'll go Columbus Blue Jackets, final answer.
Question number 3. Who led the Blues with 7 game-winning goals last season?
Braden Shen, final answer.
All right, Jeremy. Question number 4. Braden Shen now has 8 overtime goals in his Blues career, trailing which Blue for the franchise record, who has 10 overtime game-winning goals?
Oh, options, please.
David Perron, Pavel Demitra, or Vladimir Tarasenko?
Tarasenko, final answer.
Okay. Let's bring back Jamie Rivers now from the Cone of Silence. Jeremy, how you feeling?
No, not too good. I'm going against a former hockey player, so it's hard to. Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. He's right. We'll see. He's right.
Sure.
Jamie's kind of in a bad mood today, so
No,
he might be off his game.
I was fine until you spoke.
Completely.
Maybe he's high.
He might be.
Not yet.
I was high when I said that.
I was high when I said that.
All right. Listen, Jamie, focus. Your category today is hockey.
Oh, boy.
And you haven't been too good in hockey, so let's focus up here.
Oh, let's do this.
Pack a lunch.
There we go.
Question number 1, Jamie. The Blues' recent 3-goal comeback in San Jose marked the 5th time in franchise history they've pulled off a 3-goal third-period comeback. They did it once last year in a 7-5 win against which team?
Wow. These are the ones. These are the ones. Give me the options, please.
The Washington Capitals, the Chicago Blackhawks, or the Los Angeles Kings?
Chicago Blackhawks. Final answer. I think it was a game right before Christmas, actually.
Name the first team to suffer 3 regulation losses on the season starting the season 0-3-0.
Sorry, go again?
Name the first team to suffer 3 regulation losses on the season starting the season 0-3-0.
I thought they were this year?
Yeah.
I thought there were 2 teams. I thought the Oilers and the Avalanche were both 0-3-0.
Do you want Carey to read the question one more time?
No, I don't, Anthony. I don't appreciate your snark. Options.
Columbus Blue Jackets, Pittsburgh Penguins, Buffalo Sabres.
This year?
I just read the question, my man.
I'll go with the worst team that I think is there, is the Buffalo Sabres. Final answer. I don't know.
Question number 3. Who led the Blues with 7 game-winning goals last season?
Thomas Cairo. Thomas Cairo. I'm just going to shoot. Say Robert Thomas, final answer.
All right, Jamie. Question 4. Braden Shen now has 8 overtime goals in his Blues career, trailing which Blue for the franchise record, who has 10 overtime game-winning goals?
Big Daddy Vladdy Tarasenko, final answer. I don't feel great, guys. I'm not going to lie.
Well, let's see how you did.
Good luck, Jamie.
Thank you.
Who led the Blues with 7 game-winning goals? Who led the Blues with 7 game-winning goals last season? Jeremy, without the options, you said Braden Shen. Jamie, without the options, you said, I think, Robert Thomas.
Yeah.
Correct answer is
Brandon Saad.
Brandon Saad.
Oh, the Saad
The
father.
Saad father. So we got a 0-0 tie between Jeremy and Jamie Rivers. The Blues' recent 3-goal comeback victory in San Jose marked the 5th time in franchise history they've pulled off a 3-goal third-period comeback. They did it once last year in a 7-5 win against which team? Jamie, you said the Chicago Blackhawks. Jeremy, you said the Chicago Blackhawks. Correct answer is?
It is the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Both of you needed the options. 1-1 tie. 1-1 tie. Braden Shen now has 8 overtime goals in his Blues career, trailing which Blue for the franchise record, who has 10 overtime game-winning goals? Jeremy, you said Vladimir Tarasenko. Jamie, you said Vladimir Tarasenko. Correct answer is
Vladimir Tarasenko.
That's correct. But Jamie did not need the option, so he has a 1-point lead.
Ooh, good job, Jamie.
Thank you.
Comes down to this.
Welcome, sir.
Name the first team to suffer 3 regulation losses on the season, starting the season 0-3-0. Jamie, completely befuddled by the question.
Now I get it.
Did not want it read again so that he could understand it. Told me to shut my mouth, and I did so. Went with the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
Utter confusion.
It's good.
Jeremy went with the Columbus Blue Jackets. If it's the Blue Jackets, we're heading for a walk-off. If it's the Pittsburgh Penguins, Jamie wins. If it's the Buffalo Buffaloes, Jamie wins. Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
You have chosen poorly.
Correct answer is?
It is the
Buffalo Buffaloes. That's right. Nice job. Yep.
Had I thought about it more, because Buffalo started the season early over in Czechia
the
against
first
the
team.
Devil. It's the first. I wasn't getting that. I was like, hey. Then as you read it, I was like, oh, yeah.
Good job, Jamie. Good job. That was a good one, man.
Thanks, Jeremy. Good job, too, man.
Right on. You guys have a good one. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks,
Be good, man.
Jeremy.
We'll see you, buddy.
Have a good weekend.
You too. All right, there you go.
All right.
Nice job there, Jamie. Nice job.
Good job, Jamie.
That one a little bit more of a sweat than I think you anticipated.
It did, but when you start getting to the numbers things there, like that one, I just don't like those.
You did it, though. You absolutely did it. And because of that, we're going to talk about Philip Broberg and how he's completely changed this defense for the Blues. That's next on 101 ESPN. It's Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis. You okay?
He's joking.
Everything okay, buddy?
You all right?
I know sometimes we get after it, but I do care about you.
Yeah, no, I think I'll live.
All right,
You
good.
guys getting after when I'm not in here.
We're mostly talking about you.
Don't worry, though. Don't worry. All really
Thank you.
fine things. Yeah, all really fine
gentlemen.
things.
He is.
All right, so, Jamie,
Yes.
Philip Broberg, you were talking about him in the opening segment today.
Yes.
He has changed the dynamic of this defensive core, was kind of something that you indicated. Why did you say that?
Well, we touched on it briefly with Drew Bannister, head coach of the Blues. We had him on not too long ago until the fire alarm went off. Coach apparently is doing great. Update,
He's
coach
fine.
is doing fine.
Yeah.
He said it was more of some kind of a water leak or something. It wasn't like he's good.
Good.
So good to hear.
Good to hear.
So I got thinking last night on my way home from the game about Philip Broberg because I have absolutely loved his game. Every game this year, I've loved it. And I watched him closely over the last couple of games. He skates so well. He closes out plays. And so for people who are listening who don't understand what that means, it means the puck carrier ends up with no play. And usually it's a turnover, which results in the Blues now retaining puck possession.
Right.
He angles guys. He gaps up. He's got the long reach. He skates so well. Like, Matthew Barzal is one of the fastest skaters in the NHL. And Broberg just stepped up, angled, and skated him into bad ice and then poked the puck away from him.
Yeah. Kind of like a cornerback using the sidelines.
Yeah. He's just so smooth and good outlet passes. We saw the soft touch he had, the little sauce pass to Neighbors on the game-winning goal. And I just got thinking about who's the last young Blues defenseman that showed this much upside? I know who it is.
Is he still on the team?
No.
Vince Dunn.
No.
Is he in the room with us?
Yeah, is he in the room with us?
That guy showed a lot of upside. Never realized his potential. No, it's Alex Pietrangelo. And so hear me out. I'm not saying that Philip Broberg is Alex Pietrangelo yet. We don't know. Petro at the age of 22 was not what he is now. But when you think about it, Army, because of the way the Blues have been, they've never ended up with a top draft pick in the last decade because they've never been so bad that they, Dalibor Dvorsky's are, I think, their highest pick they've had, or
Yeah, and he was what, 9?
9, yeah, or 10. One of
the
still, when you look at Philip Broberg, an Army swooped in and stole another team's Petro, basically. So imagine a team when Petro is just starting out his career that swooped in and stole him from you, and now you see what he is. Again, I'm not saying Broberg gets to Pietrangelo status, but, man, he's trending in a really good direction, and you stole him from another team. Mm-hmm. It has changed the look of this defensive core overnight. And I thought that Philip Broberg was going to be a guy that comes in, you see he's raw, you see the mistakes, okay, he's growing within the team. He's looking solid out there. He looks like a mixture of like Jay Bouwmeester and Carl Gunnarsson out there. Steady like Carl Gunnarsson, skating so smooth like Jay Bouwmeester. And I just think that for me, it has completely changed the timeline of what this team can be as far as like a playoff team or a contending team. Mm-hmm. So it's just impressive to watch him play, to see the poise that he has, the nice passes he makes tape to tape. There's no panic in his game. There's a certain amount of physicality to his game as well. It's been very eye-opening in an awesome way.
So what does this do now? We saw that top pairing look pretty good last night with Parayko and Broberg. Yeah. What does this do with Leddy? Because he's a veteran player. He's off to maybe a slow start, but maybe the injury has a lot to do with that too.
Could be.
So when Leddy's healthy again, what does it do to the defensive pairing?
You just drop him back into a Parayko and see how it goes.
Letty back in with Parayko,
drop him right back
even
into
if Broberg and
Broberg, I'm not moving him away from Justin Falk right now.
Oh, that's right. He's on
not.
Yeah, that's right.
They're playing so well together.
I was thinking of
Suter.
Yeah, no.
My bad.
Falk and Broberg are playing so well together, and I don't know if it's like Broberg is making Falk better or Falk is helping Broberg be
maybe
the stud
both.
that he is.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's very complementary. And so I've been super impressed, and we did it. We had Coach Drew Bannister on earlier, and I asked him, I said, what are some of the things that you like about Philip Broberg? And here's what the coach had to say.
Just speaking in the present, how good he has, and not even about the future. Like what he's done, what he brought to our defense core, the size, the ability to skate, the physicality, moving pucks, getting up in the play. It's another dimension that we're able to add to our group to be able to play more aggressive, be more involved in the rush, be more involved in the forecheck. So certainly, he's had an outstanding start for us and, has been a big part of the games where we've had success in.
Yeah, he's a major piece of the puzzle, man. And it's just elevated the whole defensive core. I mean, look at right now. You've got Ryan Suter, who played top minutes last night with Colton Parayko. Nick Leddy's on the sidelines. We know what he can do when healthy and playing the way he can. Falk and Broberg, they're arguably one of the best pairs in the NHL right now from a numbers standpoint. And then last night you have P.O. Joseph and Matthew Kessel come in and play really friggin' good.
Matthew Kessel just continues to produce.
He had a little bit of a slow start. That's why you got the healthy scratch there for the one game against Vegas, because he's trending a little bit on the choppy side. It wasn't pretty.
Last year, you go back to last year.
You go back to last year,
he
percentages tell you that he's been very, very good since becoming an NHL player. But him and P.O. Joseph just had a great chemistry. So even when Leddy comes back, Suter goes back to playing with Kessel. You don't touch Broberg and Falk. Like every night you've got 6 really good defensemen in the lineup. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we've been able to say that for the last couple of years.
We haven't.
I don't know.
We haven't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We haven't.
We haven't.
You guys haven't. Okay.
Jamie, your stance is clear on this. So was ours. We haven't.
Yeah.
Well, here's my question. If everyone's playing so well, why force feed Leddy back into the lineup? Like, I felt like they did that last year with Justin Falk.
Yeah.
And it didn't go as well.
Because you know what you're getting.
But you can't lose sight of how good Leddy played last year. You can't lose sight of that.
I understand that.
And he improves your defensive core. He does. Like, if you have a choice of Nick Leddy or P.O. Joseph in the lineup.
Yeah, I'm probably taking Nick Leddy.
But that's the point, right? So it doesn't.
But if P.O. Joseph, if he's playing well and you're winning games,
but
like,
who's going to play better?
But if you're winning games, like, I understand where you're coming from, and I don't disagree with what you're saying. That's where I'm trying to go with. Like, I don't want to ruin what is going on here. Now it's only one game. Who knows? They could get blown out tomorrow. Who knows?
You bite your tongue.
It hurts.
Like, who's the backup quarterback in Minnesota right now?
In Minnesota?
Yeah.
That is Hooker, isn't it?
He's Detroit. It's Nicky Mullins.
Okay, so Sam Darnold.
Yes.
Little bump, bruise. He misses a week or two.
Oh, I hope not.
But Nicky Mullins comes in, and the team wins.
Yeah.
And then Sam Darnold's healthy. Mm-hmm. You sticking with Mullins?
Got to ride the hot guy.
Yeah.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. If Nick Mullins is winning football games, we're letting him ride.
No,
Marsh.
That's the key, though. He won't, though. And I saw it last year.
I'm just saying.
Saw it last year.
When you can put the best players back in your lineup, that's what you do.
Does Broberg get some more opportunities on the power play?
He's going to get the exact same amount he's getting right now, which is perfect.
Okay.
He's on the second power play unit. He's not a first power play guy. Not yet.
Okay.
Who knows what the future holds? But Justin Falk, for me, is still your best option on that top power play unit. And Broberg has slotted in really nice on that second unit. They don't get a lot of time. They get probably 30, 35 seconds every power play. But, that to me was perfect for him.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. By the way, Game 5, of the NLCS has started. And old buddy Jack Flaherty is getting his you-know-what's ripped.
What?
3-run shot in the first inning by Pete Alonso.
Oh, my God.
3-run shot. The Mets are up 3-0.
Shame. Sing it, Carey.
Carey, you've been talking about it.
Shameful.
You've been talking about this. Dodgers pitching staff has been disgustingly good of late.
Well,
disgustingly.
They have been. Yeah. Gave up a shot. Not great.
It's a big shot.
Yeah, it is.
It's a pretty big hit. Yeah, so Pete Alonso, big, strong guy, takes Jack Flaherty deep, first inning, 3-0.
7-4 Dodgers victory today.
7-4 Dodgers victory?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so, Marsh.
They're going to score 7.
These Mets don't give up. Ever.
Nope.
It's basically their mantra. Oh, my goodness, we're not going to give up. That's what they've been saying all year long.
Been singing it.
Singing it is right. All right, why don't we do a Sports Six-Pack, shall we, guys? 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text lines. If you got a question for us, send it there. Sports Six-Pack next.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues picked up a victory in overtime last night against the New York Islanders, a 1-0 final as Jake Neighbors scored the lone goal in last night's game. The Blues will take on the Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow. You can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6. If you missed our interview today with head coach Drew Bannister, you can go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our full shows and interviews there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Last night, the Denver Broncos defeated the New Orleans Saints 33-10 on Thursday Night Football. The Cleveland Guardians, they defeated the New York Yankees 7-5. David Fry, a walk-off home run. The Yankees lead that series 2-1. The Dodgers defeated the Mets 10-2. They are 1 win away from making it to the World Series, and they are trailing right now in the bottom of the first inning 3-0 as Pete Alonso with a blast, a big, strong guy. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
With Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. It's Andrew Marsh with your Sports Six-Pack questions via the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Marsh, go.
Question number 1.
From a 314, Philip Broberg, 45 points. Is that achievable or out of the question?
Totally achievable.
Tell us why, Anthony.
Well, this kid's going to play a ton. And you know who he reminds me of, and I'm not making the full comparison yet, but he reminds me of a young Alex Pietrangelo. Like when Petro was 22.
Really?
Like think about the Blues getting Petro at 22, but from somebody else. Yeah. That's basically what they just did with Broberg. So 45 points. Go fast lane yourself. Yeah, that's doable.
It's certainly doable. I'd say that's on the high end.
Not a believer, see.
Well, the fact that he was brought here for defensive purposes primarily, and now he's showing some offensive upside is awesome. I did look at his stats in the minors, and I believe he had like 39 points in 48 games. So he is capable of putting up some points. 45 points is a lot. A point, over a point every other game. That's a serious pace for a young defenseman to have. I think he's probably going to get into that 30 to 35 point range.
I got him at 82.
Damn. Point per game guy?
I mean, it's where he is right now. 5 points. 5 games. My math is mathing. 82 points.
Could you imagine if Philip Broberg gets offer sheeted, comes to the Blues, and then won the Norris Trophy?
How's your day?
Boy, we're in one here today, aren't we?
We're going.
Okay.
You better believe it. You don't believe it?
He doesn't. He clearly doesn't.
I don't right now.
You don't believe it?
Not right now.
Well, don't hop on the bandwagon later then.
Yeah. Don't be Anthony Stalter for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Okay, guys. Okay. But I'm glad you're all excited. Okay?
All right, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Question number 2.
From the Air Comfort Service text line, what strand are you guys? No, I'm kidding.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, like you don't know. What? What does that mean? Good one.
What? Yeah. From the 217. All right, boys, this is a big debate between the wife and I this morning. While brushing teeth, do you take the toothbrush and put water on it, then put the toothpaste on it? Or do you take the toothbrush, put toothpaste on it, then put water on both?
Yes.
Toothpaste and water.
Yes.
Water, then toothpaste.
What?
Because the toothpaste will then stick to the toothbrush if you use water. I like to go water on top of that too. I like a toothpaste sandwich with the water. Solid. But you have got to lay. No, you're the fool if you're not putting water on the toothbrush first because it's going to fall off.
No, it's not.
Won't.
Yeah, it will.
What do you do? Do you sit there and shake your toothbrush like this?
Like, no, you just put it under water.
Why?
It takes half a second.
Put it in your mouth and start brushing.
No, you put the water on the toothbrush, then the toothpaste. Then I go back for seconds, and then boom, I'm good to go.
I think your water use is a bit excessive.
I think it's overkill.
The second water might be overkill, but if you're not putting water on that toothbrush first,
how does water help it stick? It doesn't. It's contrary to what you're saying,
Nope,
actually.
it's actually not.
Water would create a slick surface on the top of your toothbrush. Otherwise, the bristles would handle the toothpaste just fine without the water.
I don't think Gator knows. Don't put toothpaste on a dry toothbrush. Gator's absolutely right. It's gross.
Well, I do it.
And may I add, shame on both of you.
Shh your face.
Hey, you know what? I'm just happy that people are brushing their teeth
every day.
That's true. Marsh, what do you do?
I usually go toothpaste, water, brush.
Yeah,
most people.
Actually, you know what? I don't really know. Actually, I never really think about it.
Oh, come on, Andrew.
Willie.
I might actually do the Stalter special.
Thank you.
No, you don't. Nobody does that.
Willie goes, you got to load up the brushes with water before the paste. Thank you.
I think 2 people out of 150 are agreeing with you.
More
He's won the championship.
Gator, great minds, Anthony. Absolutely, Gator. Hat tip to you.
I think I do.
111 other people disagree with you.
I think there's a psychological thing where I feel like I need to wash the toothbrush first.
When it goes toothpaste, then orange juice. No, don't do that.
That we can agree. Not. Yeah.
Interesting.
From the 314, there's always one question that torpedoes the six-pack.
This was it. Yeah. I'm actually shocked I'm sharing a show with 2 guys that don't put water on the toothbrush before
we do. We put it on there
toothpaste.
once we put the toothpaste on.
I put the toothpaste on first.
Yeah. I don't know.
If you're going to do running water, you do it before you put the toothpaste on.
I don't know how much.
Sticks.
I don't know how much your water bill is, but
Clearly high.
Yeah, because that 4.5 seconds.
add it
if
up.
that.
It does add up.
How many times a day you brush your teeth?
Twice.
Okay, so that's 8 to 10 seconds right there.
My guy
Wasted
Paul from the MAC also, you are 100% correct. Toothbrush, water, toothpaste, water, mouth. These people are psychopaths.
That's a lot of wasted time.
Thank you.
I don't have that time in my life.
No, Paul's right. You guys are psychopaths.
Now, do you keep the water running as you...
No,
I don't. No, I don't. You know why I don't, Marshy?
Because of the water bill.
No, not the water bill. Because the water gets colder and colder. And then when I'm done brushing and you go to rinse your mouth, the water's so cold with all these chipped teeth in my face. It's like biting into an ice cream sandwich. It's not fun. It's not fun. So
that's probably why he doesn't do it.
I wet the brush, shut it off, and then do you guys just stand there and brush your teeth vigorously in the mirror?
I usually sit down on the
sit
tub.
down?
Really?
Yeah, I just sit down. Like it's.
I don't
sit down.
I
walk sometimes, but
I walk around the room.
I just sit down.
Ashley will sit there and she's like, "Oh yeah, here comes the Tour de France," and I'm walking around, getting clothes out for the next day.
I brush so vigorously that I usually look like one of the little kids from the Little Giants, where I got the foam coming out of my mouth.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll drip on the floor, so I got to wipe it up. Like I'm just going ham on my mouth.
Marshy, when you brush, you top to bottom on the front teeth, and then what do you do for the molars?
I just get in there.
How?
Just get in deep.
Like vigorously?
I just stick it
like
in
how
there.
Vigorously? Show me how hard you do that.
Well, you know.
Yeah, that exactly, Marshy. Yep, that's it. YouTube, you're welcome.
Yeah, there's always one that's got to be a huge Asoli.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know what? I know what he was doing.
Of course, we all did.
I knew what he was doing, and I played along with it.
You did. Now he's laughing like he's a hero.
I didn't say anything.
I nailed that joke.
Heroes don't wear capes. Yeah. He is a hero.
This guy.
Yeah.
Man.
I didn't do anything.
Number 3.
Jamie, you deserve, you're owed a beating. Carey,
okay.
Take care of it.
From 615, when the UFL folds, that's not nice. Anyways, when the UFL folds after next season, do you see?
Tanisha goes, what the hell? Sorry, go ahead.
Do you see a push to go after the NFL?
No.
I'm assuming that's the city of St. Louis.
Well, no.
Yeah, they're pushing now. Basketball and football.
I hope they are. That'd be great. I don't know. I don't think so. I highly doubt it. I think the bad blood there between the NFL and St. Louis just...
all deals can be worked out.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
What?
Ashley.
No.
What happened?
Worse.
Mumsy?
Yes.
Yeah,
My mom, Mama Rivers, just text me. Water on toothbrush first, otherwise water knocks the toothpaste off.
Thank you.
How much water do we have? You don't have to.
Mumsy.
Just a little.
Come on, Mumsy.
Well said.
You're better than that.
Well said.
I can't even trust my own mom.
She gets it. That woman birthed you. She knows what she's talking about.
She does know what she's talking about most of the time. Just not this time.
No, she definitely knows this time. I'm sure she's sitting there right now, and she's thinking to herself in Canada, like, I have failed.
I should have done better.
I should have done better. My son is not putting water on the toothpaste before the toothpaste. Like, this is... she's probably distraught. I'll have to call her later.
Do you know what? Here's the way I
say,
work.
hey, Mama Rivers, it's not your fault, okay? You know we went sideways right before the draft.
Oh, God. Did I ever? Yeah. Sorry about that one, Mumsy. But I can tell you this for sure. Tonight, when I go to brush my teeth, I'm going to be like fast lane that Stalter. I'm not going to water my toothbrush. I will never put water on my toothbrush again now.
Hey, you're only punishing yourself.
Oh, that's later.
Why don't we regroup and do the rest of the six pack after this break? Our apologies to everybody listening.
time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we continue our Sports Six-Pack. What do you got, Marshy?
Question number 4.
Yes, we are on question number 4. Question number 3 lasted a good 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
Something about the UFL.
Yeah, we did. We said no.
Yep.
No.
All in favor?
No.
Aye.
Oh,
Aye.
sure. This next one comes from Jamie's Vacation Speedo. You can only see your favorite team in 2. Which 2 are you picking? The World Series, the Super Bowl, or the Stanley Cup Final?
World Series, Super Bowl.
Oh, blank you guys. Stanley Cup, Super Bowl. Who cares about the World Series?
See the Redbirds?
It's only a hunk of metal anyways.
Who said that?
Rob Manfred.
What is
The
he
MLB
doing?
commissioner himself.
Oh, him.
Marshy,
That guy.
you?
I think I'm going Stanley Cup and Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I've seen.
That's the correct
I've seen
answer. Enough
3
championships.
World Series already. I've only seen 1 Stanley Cup and 1 Super Bowl for the Rams, and I was like 3. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we were in 2 Super Bowls. So, but I was also like 5. So, although I do
Doesn't
remember,
hit you the same.
no, I remember exactly where I was when the Patriots won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Was that your team?
It's my team.
No, the Rams when the
that-
Patriots cheated and the Rams
They said
lost.
they didn't cheat. Did you
Yeah.
see the documentary?
They said they didn't.
The Boston Globe said it.
They didn't cheat.
The Boston Globes.
The Rams just didn't try hard.
Belichick and the Boston Globe said it.
They said it didn't do it. I believe them. Ish.
I'm looking for a question that has nothing to do with toothbrushes or pooping.
I mean, it's Friday.
Actual sports question.
Anything goes. It's Friday, guys. Come on.
By the way, Jack Flaherty continues to pitch BP to the Mets. It's still 3-1, but he just gave up a leadoff double to the 9-hole hitter.
And a foul ball that just
a
missed.
foul ball that was within feet of
But
going
it
out.
did miss.
With Francisco Lindor. Carey, now the biggest Dodger fan you'll ever meet.
Listen, I'm sorry that I like to see good teams win.
Marshy, what do we got?
Mets are a good team. You can
I found one.
All right, we got one, guys.
Yep.
Question number 5.
It's about Carey's Dodgers.
Oh, gosh.
From the 636. Guys, I asked BK and Ferrario this question and want to hear what you got to say. What's your take on Tommy Edmonds' postseason performance leading the Dodgers in postseason average? Does it surprise you? Does it make you mad? Or do you really not care?
I don't care.
Kind of wish you were able to have some of that this year, huh? On your own team?
Anthony.
Get out.
One track power.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
The wind's blowing out in Citi Field. What are you guys doing?
as far as Tommy Edmonds concerned, I really don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me at all. I like Tommy Edmond. I'm happy for Tommy Edmond.
Yeah. Right. I'm with you on Tommy Edmond. Like, you have 42 Tommy Edmonds within your organization.
What did you get in return?
Eric Fetty.
It's a pretty good deal.
I mean, you got the guy that you needed at the time.
And therein lies the problem. You're always focusing on the right now, not what the future will look like.
They have him next year, too.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Listen, Carey. Carey, I will give you all of my
I'm not saying Tommy Edman is the,
utility guy that can bounce around, whatever, for your starting pitching. All right?
Which starting
I'll do it every
pitching?
time. I'll do it every time.
Which starting pitching?
A starting pitcher that had outstanding numbers throughout the first half of the season. Well, it's not our fault. We won 83 games.
Oh,
we did.
Where are the glasses?
It's a winning team.
What more do you want from us?
Uh-oh. You're putting them on? You don't need to put them on.
I don't need them. You couldn't do that.
$4 glasses from Amazon, please.
That was perfect.
Oh, my.
You know, you guys continue to complain about the fact that we won 83 games last year. We're talking about a winning team, a winning club.
Goodness.
But you guys act like we don't give you anything. Bobbleheads. We give you calendars. We give you Adam Wainwright merchandise. And yes, we give you a winning season. It blows my mind that you don't appreciate what we're giving you guys here at St. Louis Cardinals LLC. It's disgusting.
It is terrible.
Next thing you're gonna tell us, you don't wet the toothbrush before putting the toothpaste on.
Can I ask for one thing?
You
if
may.
it's too much, let me know. Love the winning season. Bravo. Can I get a playoff appearance? And a playoff series win.
Request denied. Guys get headaches after that?
I feel like at any moment when you had those glasses on, you just touch your chest and turn into Iron Man.
He looks more like Robert De Niro in Casino.
I'll take Iron Man. Do we have another question here?
Yeah.
Question number 6.
This has been the worst smart six pack we've ever done. We've had some rough ones.
It's fine. From the 636, if the Blues play well to the trade deadline, what moves do you hope they make?
I mean, I think that if they're going to be a competitive team, I think you're going to have to go out and probably find a second line center. I mean, Pavel Buchnevich is there right now, and he's doing a good job. But if you could go find a true number 2 center and you could move Buch back to the wing, I mean, I think that helps you tremendously. As far as the defense is concerned, I don't think you need to add on the blue line. Most teams that have something that would be an upgrade over what you have probably going to want a lot for it because that player is probably pretty darn good. Goaltending, you're not touching.
What's typically available? Like Major League Baseball deadline, you're going to find relief help. You know it's going to be there. In hockey, what is it?
I don't know if there's a specific thing that's always available. It's like depth defensemen are always available out there, but you've got that. I mean, you've got 8 defensemen on your roster right now. You have Tyler Tucker down in Springfield. I don't think you need another depth defenseman. I don't think you need depth at forward either. You have Mackenzie McEachern that's down in the minors making one-way money. You've got Walker that's been healthy scratched. You don't need the depth, guys. For me, you need a second line center. That would be the one that, if I'm Army, I'm laser focused on.
All right. Yeah, you don't have to yell at me. That's cool.
Well, you kind of irritate me.
That's fair. Mets did not scratch across another run, but they're still up 3-1 on Carey's Dodgers right now in Game 5. Game 5 of the NLCS. Game 4 tonight between the Guardians and Yankees can be heard right here on 101 ESPN, starting with the pregame show at 6:30. You guys like the Yankees to rebound?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
No, you like the Guardians.
I do.
All right.
No way.
I feel like the Yankees are soft.
Whoa.
Yeah, I feel like that's a game that like could really psychologically break them.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Who do you got there, Jamie? Yankees or Guardians? Tonight.
Yankees. Guardians are screwed.
All right, fair enough. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Guardians are screwed. They won last night.
They what?
They won last night.
Yeah, I know, but come on. They're going to do that again? They had to pull a rabbit out of a hat last night. They're not doing that again.
Yeah, fair.
Well, we've seen it happen before.
It has happened before. NFL Week 7 primer. Which team do we stand to learn the most about in Week 7? Which quarterback is the most intriguing test in Week 7? And how big of a mistake is Carey's coach Mike Tomlin making? That's next on 101 ESPN. 5 o'clock, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Let's dive into the Week 7 top headlines here. All right, which team do we stand to learn the most about in Week 7?
Minnesota Vikings. And I don't even think it's close.
Marsh's Minnesota Vikings.
I mean, what's going on here? I feel like Carey doesn't like the Vikings.
He doesn't.
I don't know. You said something yesterday about a team.
The Steelers?
She'll remain nameless.
I flipped my pick, by the way, from
Shame
the Steelers
on
to the
you.
Jets.
You watched the Jets play all year. You think
I
Devontae
watched-
Adams is the reason that they stink?
No.
Yes.
But I think
crazy.
I think Russell Wilson being inserted to that lineup will be the reason the Steelers stink from here on out.
Because offensively, they've been stellar.
They at least got a puncher's chance with Justin Fields running around like another running back.
You know what you got a better chance at? And I don't know if this is
Russell Wilson
the direction that they're going to go, but you got a better chance of having success passing downfield.
Hey,
Jamie, clean it up.
Who's going to be more unbearable for me come Monday if the Vikings lose? Is it going to be Jamie or is it going to be Carey?
It won't be me.
It's usually Jamie.
It won't be
But
me.
in this case, Carey doesn't rub it in. He'll he'll come on and be like, I told you.
That's exactly what he'll do.
Same thing with the
Didn't I
Buffalo
tell you?
Bills. Right?
Didn't I tell you?
Try to tell you. Listen to me.
See? Where Jamie, he looks to cut deep at all times.
He does. It's hilarious, but you do. We love you. We understand that that's
we want
who
you
you are.
to be exactly who you are.
We accept you for you, buddy.
Yes.
Don't know how I feel about the way you're wording these things.
So
I can see it now. It's a tight game. Probably a one-score game. Vikings have the ball driving down the field. Sam Darnold probably around the 30. Picked off. Carey goes, that's it. Stalter.
Pick six. Game over. There
it is.
There it is.
Try to tell you.
I think the Vikings are
Be that close.
I think the Vikings are a good one. The other team that I have circled is Buccaneers. You got Baltimore at home on Monday night.
Yeah.
You all still believe in the Bucks. You do.
The Bucs are going to win the
4-2
NFC,
tells me I
the
have
NFC
to.
South. But that's a
The
tough
Atlanta
matchup.
Falcons are the NFC South champions. That's
They're
what
going
we
to get by
said going
Seattle
into the
this
season.
weekend. I flipped my pick on that too.
You went with Seattle?
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Geno Smith's going to
they need
light
to
up
win.
that defense. They need to win badly.
The Falcons.
The Falcons do.
Seahawks do.
No, the Falcons do too. That's why you picked the Seahawks.
Well, no, Marsh.
Not at all. Yes. No.
You guys,
Maybe.
I would
You guys
never
are
do
crazy.
that. I would never pick the Seahawks, ensuring a Falcons win.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah. All right. So the answer is the Vikings. I'll say aye.
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 Yes.
What do you
Okay.
say?
What?
You don't know. All right. He was
No,
looking,
I
he
just
was-
remember what we were talking
he was
about.
looking for a cord, iPhone cord for half the segment.
We veered off the course, Anthony, so screw you, okay?
That seems so harsh.
Hey, here's another
I
one.
don't like that. It's so over the top. I got to give you it. I respect it.
Here's another team. What about the Texans?
The Texans in Green Bay, that's another good one we can learn a lot about for sure. Yes. Is there any others here? Searching.
49ers?
49ers against the Chiefs. Yeah. All right. I think we got it. Which quarterback is the most intriguing test in Week 7?
Aaron Rodgers.
That's a good one.
That's a good one against
really
the
good one.
Steelers.
And
Yep.
he's got Devontae Adams back now, so he can't be whining about, I don't have my guys.
Yeah.
I don't have
No
players.
excuses.
He'll always whine,
Yeah, you're right, but I won't listen to him now, though.
attaboy. I think Brock Purdy against the Chiefs defense is another intriguing one.
I think Sam Darnold. Another one.
Yeah. Although the Lions' defense without Hutchinson is not quite the same. So
No, they're already making excuses.
No, I mean, the Vikings probably win.
Oh, my gosh.
He's trying to do the Martian thing.
And the Anthony Stalter thing.
What?
Yeah.
No.
You guys.
The Jets, I think, the Aaron Rodgers is the right answer there on that. Old man, old bag of bone Rodgers.
I didn't know where you were headed with that.
Old whiny faced ayahuasca Rodgers. I think that's the most intriguing test. All right. Is Mike Tomlin making the right decision replacing Justin Fields with Russell Wilson? I think it's a gigantic mistake.
I don't know. I don't think there's any difference, honestly.
At least he
they
can
both
move.
stink.
Justin Fields can move.
And
But he can't
hopefully,
pass.
there you go. hopefully,
sometimes
this is 2024. Like, you have to be able to throw the ball forward and complete passes. Like, you got to be able to complete passes downfield.
Yeah.
And if you're able to do that, you probably get some too high safety looks, which means you'll be able to run the ball more effectively. I think that if Russell Wilson has success doing that, then, they're a better team. Defensively, I feel comfortable about what they do. I know they're going to play hard. I know they're going to get out to the quarterback. I know they're going to create turnovers. But you have to be able to make plays after those turnovers. Like the Steelers are not or have not been able to make big plays in the passing game so far this year.
I think the key to what you just said is that it's 2024.
Yeah.
Not 2014.
Come on.
When the last time Russell Wilson was good. Well, it's not fair, but you get my point. What do you expect from Davante Adams' first game as a Jet? I think Aaron Rodgers peppers him about 17 times.
10-plus targets?
Easily.
They may be a little bit more balanced. I mean, Garrett Wilson I said this earlier the week, he's leading the league, to start this week, leading the league in targets. So he's still going to get his opportunities. But if you have a Davante Adams on the opposite side of him, now, again, the defense's focus is not solely on Garrett Wilson. You have to be locked in to what Davante Adams, where he is, what he's doing. And so that will alleviate some of the issues that Garrett Wilson is having a receiver that is capable of catching passes. And same thing for them. It probably opens up the running game more, which they should be doing. They got two really good running backs that are younger and allow them to do what they need to do. Mm-hmm. And that should allow them to have success. I just don't think it happens this week. Davante Adams coming in, short week. I mean, he got there, Monday or Tuesday? Mm-hmm. You probably don't have the full grasp of the offense. You'll have plays that and you might not be in there, 70, 80% of the snaps. You in there, you probably know the ball is coming his way, and the Steelers will as well. So, I think the Steelers still have a better game plan because of just now getting Davante Adams into the fold.
Going back to that Russell Wilson mistake, the Steelers' offensive line is incredibly banged up.
They have had a lot of injuries.
So to put Russell Wilson, who can't see, can't really move anymore, behind that banged up, doesn't use the middle of the field, really never has, to put him behind that offensive line. Do you think Wilson's got pictures on Tomlin or something like that? Is there, what do you think the story is behind that?
Nope. They brought him in for a purpose, be the starting quarterback. Got injured. Justin Fields and I think we both agree what Justin Fields said the other day was a stand-up man taking accountability. I haven't played well enough for this to not be a discussion.
Yeah.
Here's what he said, essentially, and I'm paraphrasing, but if I would have played better, we wouldn't be having this discussion of whether or not Russell Wilson should start this weekend. That is extremely true. He is spot on with his own assessment of his play. I haven't played well enough. So they got to see if this other guy who is a little bit older, a little bit shorter, a little bit less mobile, if he can do the things.
He's not really selling it very good right now. Slower.
This is what he said.
Shorter.
That's what he said. He's shorter, he's older, less mobile.
More annoying.
Depends on who's asking, who's talking.
Oh, everybody.
Okay. It's definitely more annoying.
You give him an opportunity because the passing game is what you need to open up. Probably would have helped if they would have got Davante Adams. Just saying, need another receiver.
How much you hate watching Arthur Smith's passing game?
I haven't seen enough of it because I see them dropping back, but I don't see the ball coming out in time. And I think that's the same thing that the Steelers are saying as an organization. We don't know if it's good or not. I don't know if he can put together plays and pick apart defenses with schemes and how receivers get open. Because the ball isn't where it needs to be. If I throw the ball when the guy actually is open as opposed to throwing him open, the DBs in this league are too good. They're going to cover him. So I haven't seen it. I don't know. I'll let you know this weekend if Russell starts.
All right. Fair enough.
And then I may come in here on Monday and say, yeah, it's terrible.
Carey's basically saying I reserve the right to talk about how terrible this is. All right, last question. Will Doug Peterson still have his job when the Jaguars leave London?
Ooh.
I think he will, only because the Patriots are that bad.
Yeah.
You know, like the Patriots.
If this was any other
have
opponent,
nothing.
I'd say that he's done.
Yep.
Because the Jaguars have not shown any type of consistency, nothing. It's just been bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to watch their games or their highlights bad.
Right. It's been a shame that the early morning London game has been this joke of a franchise.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. It's not great.
Isn't that the team that's going to move to London?
Probably.
They play in a London game like every year.
Yeah, they are the official NFL London team. Jack Flaherty has now given up 5 runs.
Boy, Jack.
5 runs at Citi Field.
Stay hot,
So
Jack.
the Mets are up 5-1 on the Dodgers.
No outs. Man on second.
Starling Marte ripped the double down the
It's the
line.
second one of the game.
Yeah, baby.
That's the art of pitching.
What's that now?
The art of pitching. Ever heard of it?
Oh, that's right.
To give up doubles down the line?
Well, that was what, isn't that what he said to Derek Gould?
Maybe.
Oh, that's right. He was a
Yes.
little condescending, a little
He was an
arrogant, was he?
a-hole.
Yeah, that's right.
Hugh Jasoli, as the kids are saying these days.
Yep. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. You guys want to do some fantasy starts and sits, do you?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Got some questions? Got some fantasy football starts and sits questions? No, Jamie, you're thinking of something else. If you have any questions,
Got it wrong at first.
fantasy-wise,
Oh, I've got questions.
DFS, fantasy football-wise, send them in now to the Air Comfort Service text line. We'll do our fantasy football starts and sits next on 101 ESPN. Looks like Dave Roberts is punishing Jack Flaherty as well he should. It's now 7-1. 7-1 Mets in the bottom of the third. Flaherty's still out there. He's only got 69 pitches. So as Jack Flaherty continues to ruin the chances for the Dodgers, potentially ruin their season, Dave Roberts is making him wear it. I think he should, Carey. I think this is the right move.
You have to, because you don't want to bring the bullpen in too soon. You got to feel. You got to
go with another bullpen game at some point, Carey. You can't be you can't be getting your bullpen taxed right now.
Exactly.
Yep. Jamie, we were just discussing how Dave Roberts hates Jack Flaherty, and he's going to make him wear it, and we think it's the right call.
It's 7-1 now?
Oh, yeah. Took him right behind.
Jack.
Took him right behind.
I told you guys it's going to be a 7-4 game.
Yeah, Jack.
You said Dodgers. You said Dodgers winning 7-4.
We're not done yet.
It was 8-1 now.
8-1. Damn it. This is great.
This is good to happen to a better person.
Pete Alonso just walked up and asked Jack Flaherty if he could pitch for him for next year's home run derby.
Yep.
Oh, man.
He might win this year or next year.
Yeah. He will be with that kind of pitching. Don't you have to go get him now?
No.
It's the third inning. You got to.
Yeah, you send him a message.
Don't go get him. I don't think he's sending him a message. I think he's saving
you send him a message.
His team for. Oh, they're standing at the top of the steps of the dugout.
So
Mark Pryor was thinking about it.
You created this mess. You clean it up.
It is only the bottom of the third, which makes it extremely difficult. Quite honestly, the best play out of this whole thing is to make him wear it for 5 or 6 innings.
Exactly.
It is, because then you throw this game away.
There you
You're
go.
down 8-1 right now.
Yeah.
And you focus on the next game, make sure that your pitchers are all good to go.
Right.
So I'd be like, hey, Jack, you better buckle up because you're going to be in there for a while.
Yeah. You think you're
Just threw a pass ball.
Is that the art of pitching, Jack? The snowman that the Mets put on the board?
I think that they should take him out now so he can be ready to go in Game 7 and he can start Game 7.
You want to see this again in Game 7?
He wants the Mets to win.
I put the bat boy on the mound ahead of Jack Flaherty.
He wants the Mets to win.
If I'm Jack Flaherty, I just throw at the next 3 batters.
I'm throwing Shohei Ohtani
and get kicked out. You won't pull me out, I'll get kicked out.
I think Dave Roberts should cut him. If he would do something like that.
You guys. It's a bit excessive.
I did. Listen, you're the Dodgers, right? Act like it.
He's frustrated.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm just so enjoying this right now.
He got out of the inning.
Shade under a decade, too.
Slightly unscathed.
Slightly.
5 runs.
All right, Marsh.
Happens to the best of them.
Let's do that hot football.
All right. From the 636, who should I start at running back? Brian Robinson. We have Washington taking on Carolina. Or Devin Singletary. It's the Giants going up against the Eagles.
No-brainer, Brian Robinson.
Yeah, if Brian Robinson is healthy, which it looks like he will be, Brian Robinson.
Yeah, but you're right. It does depend on health, like Carey said. But Carolina has the 32nd defense against fantasy running backs this year.
How many teams are there in the league?
That would be 32, Carey.
Oh,
They're
so that's
dead last against fantasy running backs.
That stinks.
Bijan Robinson scored 2 touchdowns against them last week. I think Tyler Algier had almost 100 yards, too. So, Brian Robinson.
All right, guys, from the 314, you get to pick 2 here. Little you pick 2. We have Tracy, Irving, or Mason.
So Tyrone Tracy, Bucky Irving, or who?
Mason.
Jordan Mason?
Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason's one of them.
Is he healthy? I know he had a shoulder.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was banged up.
AC
But that
joint
was last Thursday.
Yeah.
So he should be okay.
Healthy, you go with Jordan Mason because you know they're going to run the football or at least attempt to against the Chiefs. Tracy, you got to wonder if for me it's probably Bucky Irving. I think Bucky Irving is coming along. Rashad White in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers backfield. They kind of been splitting time.
Yeah.
Rashad had a foot injury, I believe, a couple of weeks ago or last week. I know one thing about foot injuries, they are terrible for athletes. So I wouldn't put too much stock into Rashad White being able to go fully. So Bucky Irving would be the one for me.
Yeah, I would lean that way too, because I think that Bucky Irving could still get some receptions as well if the Buccaneers fall behind to the Ravens. Like Baltimore has a stout run defense,
When
but
the
when
Buccaneers fall behind
when the
to the
Buccaneers fall behind.
There you go.
Thank you.
From the 314, should I start Mooney or Chase Brown in my flex spot, full PPR league?
Chase Brown versus Cleveland or Darnell Mooney versus
Mooney.
Seattle in a potential shootout.
Yeah. Cleveland defense, as much as terrible as Cleveland is, defensively, they are always good, especially up front. I'm going to go with Mooney because I honestly, up until that Tampa Bay game, I felt like Mooney was the number one receiver until Drake London actually showed up and showed out.
What's your deal with Drake London? Like, Drake London's been solid. You put Drake London all the time.
You're missing. I'm not talking about him being bad. I'm talking about the quarterback's favorite person to throw the ball to.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it was Darnell Mooney and not Drake London. So until that Tampa Bay game, I think Drake London is spectacular. But Mooney was the one that was getting the targets.
Mm-hmm.
And so I still would say Mooney because he's really the number 2 receiver. I mean, I know you got Kyle Pitts there, Drake London, and I know there's another one. But I would say Mooney
Pitts,
over
Drake London, Mooney, and Ray McLeod.
Ray McLeod. So, yeah, he is the number 2.
Yeah.
So
McLeod's a slot guy.
Yeah, I would go with Mooney.
I'd probably still go Chase Brown.
Against that defense?
Yeah. I would go Brown because I think there's going to be – I almost know what you're going to get out of Brown. And Mooney.
But he's still splitting carries with Zach Moss, who is playing. And Zach, I think, is still officially the starting running back.
All right, so I'm going to say Brown. Carey's going to say Mooney. One of you guys got to split the difference for this listener.
So I'll go with Mooney just because a few weeks ago I wanted to play him and then I didn't. And then he had like 30 points. So I'll go with Mooney because I actually have both of these dudes on one of my fantasy football teams. So this is actually a good question. But I think I'm going to go Mooney.
Jamie Brown or Mooney?
Zach Mooningham.
Let's go with Mooney.
You motherfest.
Anthony, that guy's on your favorite team.
I know he is.
Sorry.
He doesn't want you to pick anyone from his favorite team because he wants them to be the underdogs.
Did you guys see Mooney do a backflip when the Falcons were taking a knee last week?
I
had somebody
that was
used to do that. I forgot who did that.
I don't know who actually was
backflip.
watching that game.
Oh, that'd
no
be
offense.
me. I was watching it because the Falcons are my favorite team, Marsh. I understand your question.
Just don't pick them.
So this one comes from Andrew, and this is not Andrew Marsh. I mean, I don't know. There could be another Andrew Marsh out there. I have no idea. But this is 618 Andrew. Oh, there is another Andrew Marsh. Yeah, he's going to Michigan. That's right. Interesting question. What are you doing with Cooper Kupp as a game time decision?
If he's in the lineup, if he's active, I'm playing him.
What time do they play?
Asked.
They play it probably at 3 o'clock.
They play late because they're playing the Raiders.
I'm starting. I got Cooper Kupp starting. I ain't
messing around.
They just came off of a bye week. He was out for about 3 or 4 weeks with the ankle injury.
Yep.
He's their number 1 receiver with Puka Nacua out. So yeah, I doubt that he's not playing, especially after the bye week. I don't think there's much of a setback. It usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks for that to heal properly. It's been about that amount of time. So I'm starting Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
From the 636, should I start in my flex Kareem Hunt or Amari Cooper?
I'm going Hunt.
Yeah. I don't know what the dynamic is going to be there with Amari Cooper. Like, I know Rodgers absolutely adores Devontae Adams as a BFF, one of his only. So I think he's like that trade, I think, is going to kind of pay off right away because Rodgers is only going to look at him. But I don't know whether or not Amari Cooper is going to feel comfortable in that offense right away.
Yeah, I think.
And there's a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah. Devontae probably has some understanding of the offense, whereas Amari Cooper, it's probably completely different from the terminology from what he's coming from. And again, in a week's time, it's hard to understand all of that verbiage in that short span of time.
Yeah. And I think the Chiefs will get Kareem Hunt involved in the passing game, too.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Need to enunciate.
All right, we'll need Jamie's expert opinion on this one.
Okay.
Tough one here. From the 302, David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs? Which one?
Oh, I'll go with Montgomery in this one. I like Jahmyr Gibbs a lot, but I think that Dan Campbell prefers giving the ball to Montgomery. He gets a lot more touches based on, I mean, I watch the games, but I also look at the number of touches he gets. He gets a lot. I'll go with Montgomery.
I probably would as well. I think he's just the ground game. David Montgomery is going to get more. He has been getting more carries. Jahmyr Gibbs is more of the explosive back passing game, things of that nature. He's carrying the ball well also, but I really like what David Montgomery has been doing. But Jahmyr Gibbs he gives you that explosive at any moment can pop off a big play. So
I'm going Gibbs. He can impact the passing game too, and if it winds up being a shootout, who knows?
This is a tough one. The water boy wants to know, who do I start at quarterback? Rodgers, Flacco, or Wilson?
Flacco.
Flacco might not be starting.
Tough lead.
What?
Yeah,
Have you seen his numbers? I even sent you that
I know.
thing.
That's why I LOL'd, because
That's a tough.
Anthony Richardson is starting. I think he's healthy.
Why would you bench? Oh, my God. They're done.
I'm going to go to Aaron Rodgers on that one.
Yeah, me too.
Against the Steelers defense?
I would rather have that over Russell Wilson do anything in a football uniform, including staying on the sidelines, inactive.
You're gonna think I'm a homer.
You can't.
Dummy.
You're gonna think I'm a homer.
You can't recommend Russell Wilson.
If Russell's starting,
Oh, stop, Carey. You don't even believe that.
I think he does.
yeah, I would probably.
He's not
go
that
Rodgers.
sick.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man.
I don't think Aaron's gonna have a good day though.
I could see that. I mean, let's be honest. These are three crap options.
Yeah.
Crap, double crap.
Pat Fryermuth might have a day, because I don't think the outside with
He might.
Sauce and those guys is gonna be.
No. Yeah, George Pickens going to be shut right down on his face.
Last one here from the 314. Shaky Bakey or Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, so shaky bakey in a catch-up situation against Baltimore, right? Oh, think about all those garbage yards. Or Mahomes, who has not been a great fantasy quarterback this year.
No.
Wow.
I would go shaky bakey in this one. I think shaky bakey.
I got to go Baker, too.
Yeah.
I got to go Mayfield. I think you almost have to.
He's been passing it 45 to 50 times a game.
Yeah. And he gives you a little shake in the run game. Yep. I got to go there. Got to.
I want to go. I want to go Patrick Mahomes. I never not want to go Patrick Mahomes. But I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yep.
Interesting. All right, we appreciate all the questions for starts and sits. We got the biggest question of the day next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues picked up a victory last night, 1-0 in overtime, thanks to a Jake Neighbors game-winning goal. We talked earlier today with Drew Bannister. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Blues will take on the Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow. You can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 5. Puck drop is at 6. We've talked a lot of NFL today. Denver defeated New Orleans last night on Thursday Night Football, 33-10. We'll also have Game 4 of the ALCS tonight. Pregame starts at 6:30. Cleveland able to pick up a win last night over the New York Yankees, 7-5, thanks to a David Fry walk-off home run. 2-1 series lead for the Yankees. The Dodgers defeated the Mets last night to take a 3-1 series lead, and they are struggling right now as they trail 8-2, 1 win away from the World Series. The Mets leading 8-2, top of the 4th inning, and we'll give you more updates on that up until the end of the show. It's bases loaded for the Dodgers. Also, we have our biggest question of the day coming up next, so stay tuned for that. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, time for the biggest question of the day here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Marsh, go.
All right, we get a question from the 314.
Hey, 314.
Is the Tennessee-Alabama game more captivating with it being a playoff elimination game than the Texas-Georgia game?
Well, I could argue that the Texas-Georgia game is also somewhat of an elimination game because your Georgia Bulldogs threw up a bit of a defensive stinker in Tuscaloosa a couple of weeks ago. So I think both games are somewhat of an elimination game, but I understand it. It's Tennessee and Alabama on both sides. Like the loser goes home.
Yeah. Are we sure?
Maybe.
Because I look at Georgia, and if they lose to Texas by,
45.
No. If they lose by a touchdown.
4.
Let's just say, okay?
Yeah.
Do you really drop them out of playoff contention when they're clearly one of the best teams in the country?
Well, you got to have more teams lose then, right? Like that's the trade. That's the trade-off.
I don't know.
Texas can lose and be okay. Georgia, I honestly think if you are a 2-loss team, 3 losses, forget about it. Yeah. 2 losses, even in the SEC, because there are so many other teams that are going to be no-loss or 1-loss teams that could potentially jump in front of you. We talked about the Iowa State Cyclones, where nobody talks about them, right? Nobody speaks about them. Boise State, regardless of what you think, they are going to probably end up in the college football playoff just based on how they played Oregon at Oregon and the fact that that might be their only loss of the season. So you're going to have some teams that are jumping in front of you if you are a 2-loss team, and there will be no path for you to get into that top 12. Mm-hmm. And if you are a Georgia with 2 losses, if you are a Tennessee and Alabama with 2 losses, the door and the windows are closing very, very quickly on you. So.
I think this Alabama-Tennessee matchup is also fascinating because Alabama, they've got more experience, especially offensively. The Volunteers are starting the young quarterback, but he's got plenty of upside overall. But this Alabama defense has not been Nick Saban's Alabama defense, so it's kind of an interesting matchup. I'd almost side with the better D overall would be Tennessee.
Over Alabama?
Yeah, the defense was not the reason why Tennessee lost to Arkansas. Their offense couldn't move the ball. You don't like it? You're not buying it? You like Alabama?
I don't
Carey
know who
says
I like
roll
in that
tide.
game.
He did. I heard him
say that.
Thank you.
I didn't say that. Alabama should win, but who knows, man? This thing going college football is madness this year.
Does Georgia show up in Texas?
Yeah, they should be there now.
Yeah, they should be there early.
They usually get there, like they play on Saturday, Anthony, so normally the plane will leave around 5, Friday around noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that. You get in, you get to the hotel, police escort, and then you have your meetings and your food.
Doesn't make any sense.
There early, and so then you get your good night's sleep, head over to the stadium the next day, you're ready to go. That's how that usually works out.
Yeah, I meant, guys, Georgia. Do they play Texas well? Like, does it come down to the wire?
We don't know yet. We'll have to watch the game.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
Well said, Jamie.
Yeah.
By the way, the most overrated team in baseball history just left the bases loaded, so it's still 8-2 Mets over the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman struck out. Key spot. Freddie Freeman strikes out.
Why would the Mets bring in a righty to face the lefty? That goes against.
Maybe he's got great reverse splits.
Yeah, who knows? Yep. Yep. The computer told them to.
Yeah,
just asking.
You know, Carey, you love that.
I do. I love the analytics. What are you guys talking about?
All right.
You guys don't know ball.
Michigan, Illinois.
ILL.
Fighting Illini.
What? Who's going to win that game?
Fire up Illini.
You said it right the first time. I know you didn't mean to.
I didn't mean to. Break it down for us, Carey. Michigan has no offense, but they play great D.
They brought in the quarterback Tuttle, who I think he's thrown 6 picks this year. They moved on from Orgy. I don't know. They've had 3 different quarterbacks played this year, and none of them have had great success in the passing game. They do run the football well. That could be the one thing that hurts the Illini, because up front we got beat up a little bit, in my opinion, against Penn State. I think defensively, our DBs, we got a couple of guys that I think are going to be playing on Sundays. So I don't mind them playing them man-to-man and focusing in, locking in, 8 men in the box. You have to stop the run versus Michigan this weekend. If you stop the run, game over. Yep. They have nothing that they will be able to do. Offensively, Luke Altmaier has taken care of the ball really well, minus a couple of fumbles. He only has 1 pick this year, but he's fumbled it a couple of times. One was a critical one that allowed Purdue to get right back in the game right after they scored a touchdown last week. But offensively, I think you run the ball, find Pat Bryant, who is one of their big-time receivers, Zachary Franklin. They got some guys that can catch passes. But the key to the game is going to be stopping Michigan from running the ball. You make that team one-dimensional, it is over, because they are not an elite passing team right now.
Any concern about Purdue doing whatever it wanted to that defense last week?
So that game kind of got away. Like I said, they scored a touchdown, and then the very next offensive series, you fumble, scoop, and score for a touchdown. Now the momentum is on Purdue's side. And so I would say yes if it didn't go the way that went. Like, you score 2 touchdowns in a matter of 6 seconds, you're probably going to put yourself in a rough position, and then you have some trouble getting first downs. The game starts to shift. You start to feel the energy and the momentum going to Purdue's side. The good thing is you can correct it. It's better to correct things after a win. Yep. Like, they'd have lost that game and lost it in the manner in which it was going, yeah. You are frustrated. And maybe that team, last year, a couple of years ago, maybe that team does lose that game. But they were able to stay to it, stick to it, and fight back into it and be able to come out with a win. So, yeah, I'm not too concerned about it.
That's Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. We have Bet the Board. We have 3 stars of the day. And we have criticisms and compliments next. Supposed to be a really nice weekend. Why don't you take a drive out to Herculaneum, check out their new vehicles at Auto Centers Nissan. In fact, if you're looking for an affordable, brand new vehicle, whether it's for you or somebody in the family, Auto Centers Nissan, they've got 2024 Nissan Kicks, Sentras, and Versas, all priced below $23,000 right now, as well as 2024 Rogues and Altimas starting below $30,000. You can look for massive dealer discounts, upwards of $10,000 off MSRP on select models, and with over 700 vehicles all in one one location. In fact, it's the largest and best used selection in St. Louis. You're going to find the perfect vehicle to fit your budget and your lifestyle. It's all there out in Herculaneum with Auto Centers Nissan. You can start online. Go to autocentersnissan.com, peruse the vehicles that they have, set up a test drive, and before you know it, you're going to be driving off the lot in either a affordable, new Nissan or affordable used vehicle. New Nissans and select used come with a complimentary lifetime warranty. New Nissans come with a 30-day return promise and complimentary Nissan plan. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan, Herculaneum. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. Podcast is always brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Mets have taken a 9-2 lead over the most overrated team in Major League Baseball. Jesse Winker with a triple to make it 9-2. And Mets just beating the you-know-what of the Dodgers. Couldn't be a better sight right now at Citi Field.
It ain't over till it's over.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, let's play Bet the Board. Marsh, how about them standings, kid?
Anthony, you have 8 points. Jamie has 7 points. Carey has 6 points. I have 3.
Go ahead, Anthony. Let's go. Come on. Come on.
Green Bay Packers -3 over the Houston Texans. I'm going to lay the field goal.
Terrible pick.
Packers by 10.
Jamie?
Colorado Avalanche.
Haven't won a game.
No, but they're playing the Anaheim Ducks. Nathan McKinnon. 0.5 is the power play points over under. I'm going over. It's minus 140.
You know where I'm going. Juan Soto.
Hits.
1.5. Hits, runs, RBIs.
You're not getting
Minus 120.
25.
130.
30.
Minus 120.
We don't even check, which is sad. We should check because Carey's full of you know
There you
what.
go. Yeah, sure to you. I'll show it to you every time, Jamie.
Jamie did check.
He did check.
I got a big old slice of humble pie.
It's just terrible.
Apparently, Carey hasn't been cheating.
So we think.
It's when you don't check is when I.
Yeah. Marsh, what's your play, kid?
I'm going with a David Montgomery anytime touchdown this weekend.
Over your Lions, huh?
Would be a damn shame if it didn't hit.
Mets have now taken a 10-2 lead over those scumbags from L.A.
Better save some of those runs. They got 2 more games left.
Nah, pour it on them.
Just got one.
Pour it on them.
The champagne after the Dodgers win. I agree.
Gosh.
Did you all do after every round? You all didn't do that, do you?
No.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
It's so
You would
extra.
think hockey players would, though, based on their
No,
their
the
partying
goal is
habits.
to win the damn
Yeah,
championship.
like some guys would have like a couple of beers, whatnot, but in the Stanley Cup playoffs, like you're not drinking, man. Like you're just not. Like I mean, maybe a glass of wine with dinner the night before, but you're not like out drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let alone spraying each other with champagne. Woo! First round win. Carey, put your goggles on.
I feel like it'd be cool if you're in it, though.
Like, how embarrassing.
Hey, what's worse, what Major League Baseball does, or when when a team in the NBA they win a game in the playoffs and the confetti comes down from the rafters,
Cringy.
That is pretty bad.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Somebody got to clean that mess up.
Yeah. Janitor's
paid
like,
for it.
no.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
You haven't won anything. That'd be hilarious. Like the confetti's coming down. You haven't won anything. Put it back up.
I used to like when they spray painted the numbers out, like on the. They used to have like on the side when they in the NBA they take a can of spray and, but then they made them stop because they said it was graffiti. Didn't want young folks to think that using graffiti.
Graffiti? Because they're going to do it anyways.
And then
You can't find graffiti in any city.
Right.
made them stop.
Come on.
You know what,
That's
though?
terrible.
Those people are really talented.
Yeah,
they are.
He's incredible.
Yeah. Just do it on like a mural that people want, you know?
No,
in their
don't
city.
do it on anything. Just find a blank wall.
That's what I mean.
You said
Well, you don't want to do it on a mural.
Well, I mean, do a mural,
make a mural.
on a space.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Like he said, do it on a mural.
Yeah, like there's already a mural,
I mean, guys,
like a
like-
nice picture of Anthony or whatever, and then someone went up and
Me
started
as Iron
spray
Man.
painting over your face.
Yeah.
You got to button up 2 buttons or you go 3.
Oh, he's 3. You got to get
3
that
button.
poof right out there.
Big 3-button
thick
guy down to the
bushes of
right to the
chest hair.
sternum.
Anthony's got an ascot
rope
of
shades.
chest hair.
Nicely.
You know what I hope for, Jamie, for you this weekend? Your Patriots get it in London. Your Lions get it in Minnesota. And then you got to wait an extra day. And your Bucks get it in Tampa by the Ravens.
Yep.
So I hope for you.
All right, well, good.
I won't say what I want to say because I don't want fans and listeners to turn against me.
And
So
for another reason.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead,
For
Anthony.
another reason.
No, go ahead, Anthony.
Nah,
Air it out. No, go ahead.
He'll tell you.
Don't shrivel up now.
Yeah.
Air it out.
He'll tell you in 2 minutes, Jamie.
Yep.
All right, guys, you ready for the... well, let's actually, real quick here, from the 516. This might answer our question from earlier in the show. I'm a Mets, Giants, Islanders, and Knicks fan. New Yorkers aren't sports monoliths. There's more team mixing than you think. It just happens that a lot of very vocal fans are Mets, Jets, Isles, or Yanks, Giants, I don't know
Knicks.
Knicks. No real New Yorker is a Nets fan, though.
No, probably not. I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Why? Because they started in Jersey?
Yeah. Even though the two football teams are in Jersey, technically. We don't want any of you, Nets. Don't bring over that Jersey crap. You're not allowed. Don't you go to
cross over
Jersey to
cross the bridge.
Yeah.
That's all about where you started.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, but we can see it from the bridge.
All right. 3 stars of the day. Our third star of the day goes to Curly Lambeau, the ghost of Lambeau Field.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Go back, go.
Haunt them Texans this weekend.
Yes. Second star of the day goes out to fire alarms.
Yes.
Coach
Making
Manny.
sure everyone's safe. And first star of the day, doesn't matter how you do it, but goes out to brushing your teeth.
That's right. It's important, guys.
You got to brush it the right way.
It's important. You do.
Toothpaste,
Well, Marcia
water,
showed us how to do
brush.
it.
Oh,
He did. You can check it out on the
Yeah,
podcast.
go to YouTube.
YouTube.
And Marsh is right there.
Marcia's
showing you
thorough with his brushing.
how to touch those back molars.
He is.
Properly.
You
Got
taught
in
me
there
that?
good.
Who Jamie did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah, I showed you how to do that for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep. And Marcia, guess what? After about 10 times, you got it right. It was perfect.
Oh, my goodness.
10 times the charm.
Dedicated soldier, aren't you?
Somehow Marsh made it worse. All right. Guardians, Yankees, game 4 tonight. Pre-game starting at 6:30. Got Blues hockey tomorrow. Everybody have a safe and great weekend. For Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.